Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and today I'm with Caden Burton, and we are at Brickworld Chicago, and we are going to be doing our entire show floor tour for you today. So we'll record this in two different halves, probably going to end up several hours long. It usually does, but that's because we try to show you as much as we possibly can here at the show. So many of you have seen Caden on these tours before. Always great to have you with me. Let's head this direction. We'll dive on into the builds. I think we start with some playable games over here.
Yeah, it looks like it. We've got lots of different like arcade games and iOS games. We start with Crossy Roads. We've got a coin pusher, slot machine, all kinds of classic games. They appear to run, so I'm assuming during the public hours we'll see plenty of interaction with the public here.
I love this Star Wars themed pinball. I think it's super fun. I think the designs of it, especially the lightning coming out of the Emperor's hands, I thought was a really neat design there for the ball channel in the background. So I think that's really, really cool. I haven't seen this being played, but like you said, I believe it can be played. And we've got the claw over here. So this one is definitely playable. I think they were just doing it a second ago. So you've got the Technic claw there. You can actually pick the animals up. And then kind of a Ninjago-inspired battle. And we move into some cars, and our first agricultural build here. You know, always got to give a shout out to the Midwest.
Yeah, no corn yet, but we've got wheat fields to start off. Some cool Technic farm vehicles there. Love just like how clean all of that looks too.
And then jumping across here to our next aisle, we've got a bunch of Star Wars stuff in here. So this is Attack on a battle there. I can't pronounce that.
Saleucami.
There we go.
Yeah.
Great job. But most importantly, we've got Stormtrooper Hot Tub. So I think we got this as kind of a miniature in the Death Star set.
Probably the most popular and I think now most expensive figure out of that set, and has been recreated in the Big Fig form using the Stormtrooper helmet set. That's fantastic. Next to some really awesome spaceships. Lots of great curvature and slope usage here. I love how this one's kind of opened up with like the little fighters coming out of the back there, into some cool like mechs as well. Awesome.
Some very fun designs, unique designs here, and the fire sloth is super cool. Then we get into our first really large-scale Star Wars build. We'll see a lot of really impressive stuff. Sith Temple of Malachor, great kind of color scheme on this. Very different from a lot of the Star Wars builds that we see.
Yeah, so this is from the Rebels series, and I believe, at least based on the smoke alarms going off earlier today, it has a smoke machine in it. Brickworld Security was not happy. They were opening the doors to get it vented out. But it looks really, really cool when it's all lit up. The next step, we got Topoka City from Camino. Really clean build. I love the water and all the cheese slopes in the users. That must have taken a lot more time than I want to think about.
Moving into some sports logos, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Green Bay. And then here we've got, looks like some Marvel and then some Star Wars smaller vignettes. That lightsaber design is really fun there, so it gives a nice sense of action. You got the gunships here, and then a small little castle scene, and then the space bar. So this looks like a combination of a bunch of Lego space stuff from over the years.
It's an interdimensional gathering is what it's called. So got the time portal in the back, the disco portal back there. Got classic space, probably got some M-Tron and other stuff in here as well. Looks like a fun place to be.
And another really great Star Wars build with fantastic use of lighting and the lava. Love to see the nice lighting there. Here's a hot rod show. So this is Ratfink's 56 Chevy pickup. So the vehicle and the signage there are really, really impressive. And the little character, this is by Paul Hetherington, who always brings incredible stuff out to these shows. Very impressive. And this is Hornet's bell horn. So really cool little detailed scene inside there.
Yeah, I love the curvature of that, and the color between the dark red and the pearl gold is really, really nice. We've got some medieval times opening ceremony here, so we've got all the patrons enjoying their wares up in the stands while the knights are jousting on the floor.
And then a big scale Jack and the Beanstalk with this really nice castle build up top, and then kind of micro scale kingdom underneath there. They're up in the clouds, so really nice design. Moving over to K-Lug now. This is the Kenosha, Wisconsin Lego users group. So you'll notice a lot of the builds are grouped by lug and groups of builders from the same geographic area. Concert in there. Here's a nice farm scene, getting some corn, I think some bananas. So there's some of everything happening here.
Some bananas, some carrots. You got wool shedding down here on the bottom. Next to a really cool dwarf mining operation here as well. Got the jester up top, all the caves and the mine carts down here. Nice touch.
And more kind of classic space. And then this looks like some dino factions. So it's using dinosaurs to carry around all sorts of cargo and mixed with some of the Red Imperial guys there. Lots of different kind of torsos from over the years represented to create some of these minifigs. So the star of the show is the dinos for sure.
Yeah, definitely like almost like steampunk-esque, like mechanized animal. Really cool. Next to a massive robot battle cage, it appears to be. It appears to be operable by the public as well. So this is probably going to be quite an entertaining spot to be tomorrow and Sunday during the public hours.
Then here's a kind of a stud pusher, so the type of thing you see with like great ball contraption, a lot to move the balls through. So it looks like we've got that kind of an idea with a conveyor belt down at the bottom. I love all the bright green looking studs. Then really large ship here using 2 of the big ship hulls. You got some whales underneath there. And this looks like a medieval farm under intense attack.
Very much so. You've got the skeleton army coming out here. You've got the farmers using all of their wares. They've got cow catapult back there. Lots going on. Lots of really cool movement as well.
Absolutely. Little Back to the Future and Ghostbusters. Looks like, these are all film scenes, I think. You can see the film strips as you work your way through there. Yes, very cool movie collab here. Han's Last Hope. Very nice. Goblin Dreadnought. So it's a goblin ship, not something you see featured very often. And then here's just like a diner type of design. Water and sewer systems. I like the really clean looking wooden buildings back there.
Yeah, the use of the white slopes for like the untouched fresh snow. I like how like non-linear it is, where like each thing is its own piece, kind of set up on the black tablecloth. It's very nice.
And Ember Maw, Sovereign of the Skies, and then another winter scene, Frozen characters. And this looks like a seed part challenge that Foxlug had, and then a huge steampunk setup. So always great to see these really large scale steampunk displays, especially the way they use some of those like ball planet pieces and some of the unique pieces Lego has made.
Yeah, and like not even just that, but like stickers and things. Like you see the, I don't even know what piece it would have been, but the clear dish that they've used for this kind of arched roof in the back there. You got tank tracks on the tower back there as well. Even this big printed dish over here from the Corporate Alliance tank droid from like 2010. Steampunk's always like it's fallen out of favor over the years, but like there's still a very dedicated group of builders that keep it alive.
We've got Purge Among the Petals. This is Felucia Order 66, and once again, great lighting here for those kind of areas in between the tiles, and then crazy colors right here. Oh, this is all part of the same build. I didn't even notice that at first.
Yeah, so it's one of the coolest things about Felucia is when builders do it, what parts they use to do the foliage, because the foliage for the Felucia is like insane. And there's lots of really cool, crazy colors. You've got a lot of what appears to be like elves colors. You've got the sparkly purple like ferns in here at the tops of the plants as well. Very densely populated, awesome build.
And much less colorful, but still very impressive. We've got the Blacktron red and yellow color scheme going here. Looks like they've got a bit of a portal happening, coming and going from their planet. Then we've got this, I think, Wicked-themed lenticular mosaic, it looks like. And this holiday centerpiece is really nice with all the greenery and flowers mixed in. Pieces of Hope here, really nice use of colors. And then you've got your kind of lavender trees here with this pagoda type design.
Yeah, really nice. They've got the printed fish tiles down in the basin there as well. I love I guess it's sand blue in the bridge there. It's a very nice accent color to the brighter colors there as well. Very nice build.
Sticking with some natural themes, it's a turtle with a tree and kind of a whole micro city built on the back of it. So it's called the Living Isle. Very neat design. Then you get the Cyber Spider, much scarier. Friends deep sea exploration vessel. And coming back over here to kind of, this is Playing Coy with the fish here, and you see some guys battling it out. The Harry Potter sorting hat. And then a bunch of different vignettes. These ones over here are kind of safari animal themed. And then finally a couple of Technic vehicles, trains here, and that brings us into this massive medieval battle.
Yeah, so there's a lot happening here. You've got the encampment back here, and then the large infantry battle and cavalry charge out here. This is the charge of the willow tree. So I guess the willow tree is the main objective being defended by the... I'm definitely going to get the faction wrong. Is that the Black Falcons?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
all right. And this is the
Lion Knights. There you go.
Right. I got there. So the Black Falcons defending, and then the cavalry charge of the Lion Knights there. I love the encampments. They've got a massive trebuchet back there as well. That's super awesome.
Yeah, you don't usually it's just the kind of the hordes of troops, so it's cool to see kind of the encampments and that kind of thing set up.
And like the fortifications and everything as well. They've got even tents and everything out. The mass supply stores of all the equipment they're going to need.
And then a bunch of smaller scenes here. It looks like a lot of Ninjago-inspired stuff, and then even Ninjago mosaics up top, along with Zerg and a bunch of spaceship parts, and then the Toy Story Army Men base.
That's pretty great. Those figures were how I got started into doing military stuff. I love how like studless it is for the most part, like buildings wise. That's also awesome build.
That old soccer bases for the tops of the buildings there is a really nice technique. And then more Toy Story here with the claw machine, and then Orange Bird and Space Station of Doom. So I think this is part of a collab that was here in the last few years, where it was a bunch of scenes from the Death Star. A lot of these were pretty funny scenes that depicted all sorts of different rooms in the Death Star. So it's cool to see a section of this having been brought back. And to finish out K-Lug, we've got a bunch of small little vehicles here, really well done, kind of minifig scale.
Yeah, lots of great parts usage in these. Lots of cool colors as well. Lots of great shaping too.
We'll go ahead and head down the side wall now over here. Head towards the fantastic looking YouTube logo kind of play button with these really nice, looks like Marvel characters here on display. So looks really fantastic. And then a Sony Walkman, all brick built. And then a Battle of Scarif here. And you can see some of these are awards from past shows that builders have won for some of their displays. Some medieval equipment and more classic space. I think you've got some of the ice factions here represented, so fantastic to see that. And then I like the movement on this build.
Yeah, the dream train, so you've got all the different potential dreams happening there, and the train going around on the new roller coaster track at the top there. Great movement, great little scenery as well. Next to the Dragon Knight's castle, so got some like almost like bigger fig build dragon figures defending the castle there. Some excellent use of lighting there as well. And I love the color of the dark red and the gold there.
And then every possible iteration of a Lego sphere, it looks like here. So just tons of different colors and types of designs. It's really neat to see those rounded shapes come together. Zane's mech and Dead Cube and Cube Vereen over here. Then Carnival Spinning Ride. It's neat to see even the smaller scale stuff have lights and movement. I think you just see that more and more, especially newer builders. I think the bar has just been set so high that people coming in, even starting with smaller builds, to include a lot of that these days.
And I think lighting's become such a big thing, and like as people have kind of figured out ways to do it with the different companies that are out there, we've gotten a lot more in the way of like tutorials kind of things. And we come into this great Les Mis mosaic here with some other smaller scenes for Animal Crossing and the undead wooden duck. Awesome builds there.
And if you want to get a workout in while you were at Brickworld, we've got the smart bells, we've got the kettlebell, the blender, even the AirPods in there, and then the barbell over here. So with the dumb bricks, this is fantastic. Don't skip leg day there. Very, very fun designs. I like that a lot. Then Daniel Constanci's marble run, we've shown this off on the channel before, so he puts the marbles at the top and then races them down, so it's fun to watch that. Here we go. I think we're going to get a demonstration right now. Okay. Which one do you think is going to win?
The one that wins, the first one.
The one that's in first?
The one that's in first, yeah.
And he set up little traps and things along the way. So I think this is his second or third version of this, so he's improved it, and it's a lot stronger than it was before. So it's cool to see this coming back, because I think the first show got set up bad. There was some damage.
I was there for the damage, yeah. I was the one they called when it started collapsing. I'm like, I don't know where he is. Let me figure out how to get in touch with him.
moving on from the marble run, we've got these really nice game systems over here. There's a GameCube on the far edge, and then a Lego traffic light. It even switches colors. We've got a bowling pin and a Stradivarius violin. Oh, the traffic light actually has people inside there. And then the MLB and Spotify logos, and open chess set.
Yeah, classic chess set. Got all the pieces in there. Love the textile around the side of it using the big, I guess those are their 4x4 or 6x6 tiles. Next to a really cool X-Wing Corsair. That's really cool. Using a lot of it almost looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy colors in a Star Wars style, but of a military plane. So super cool there.
And then Darth Raven and Darth Nihilus. We've got these Star Wars mosaics, some nice kind of 3D levels happening there, which I think is very cool. Then the Wedding Day. So this is taking the Monet painting that we recently got from Lego and adding in basing it off the photo here. It looks like the builder with their wedding photo and kind of adding them into the build, which I think is very cool. And these couple of builds here I thought were really impressive, the way they displayed these.
Yeah, I love this. So the Fellowship of the Ring in kind of this like 3D mosaic, like 2D background, but then a 3D landscape with the figures in front. You've got some Minecraft kind of 2D-esque mosaic style builds there in the front, next to a Republic assault with a really nice gunship there. And then the second of those builds that you're talking about from the first movie, Phantom Menace, doing that same kind of thing, like microscale feed. And then you have the Duel of the Fates there happening underneath. It's really awesome.
Then a nice bust down here, and Babu Frick, and the Arconia here from Only Murders in the Building. So lots of fun stuff represented there. We'll hop back over here and do this as we make our way down. So got a glass blower and Man in the Big Yellow Hat for all the Curious George fans in the audience. The Mean Girls Burn Book, the Pink City Express, and then some fun animal characters.
Some very interesting usage of parts here. Lots of big curved parts. You got the orange puppet, the barber shopping, and the jellyfish friends. Those are probably my favorite. And then some really just other cool, like really shaping things. You got the thinking, lots of really nice parts uses here with these kind of monochrome-esque style builds here down in the front.
Yeah, in the front, it's kind of artistic drawings with kind of themed color, monochrome color frames around them. So it's fun to see how those came together. You can see some of this is like a Fabuland art piece there. And then here we have 6 guys. So really unique style of build. the very tiny legs and the huge heads. Really unique style build there, more of that artwork in the background. And this idea runs this whole direction here. Like you said, it's kind of cartoony, very colorful, those large scale pieces.
Yeah, it's really cool because like one of the things with monochrome that I think a lot of people like pick up on is how few pieces are available in a lot of different colors. And so when people do monochrome things like this, you see the colors or the parts, I should say, that are more common in like specific colors, especially the newer colors like the super bright yellows and things like that aren't as popular or widespread in parts yet. And you got some other cool character builds. Shirtless guy with a big mustache back there. He looks a little malnourished, but next to 1, 2, and 3.
And then a tile face and see-through guy. So, just a bunch of gaps in the design. Here we go into a sort of elven, feels kind of an elven-themed pirate-type display, I would say. A lot of unique colors.
Yeah, elven pirate, Viking-esque something. You got the tower with the slide in the back there. This massive kind of dragon arc ship here in the middle. Is really awesome. You got a stingray chariot down here as well.
Yeah, using like the stingray piece from one of those old, I think like 90s underwater themes.
I don't know, I wasn't alive yet, I don't know.
And then some nice movement in the rock, almost like a stained glass type of effect with some of those colors coming through there. And then just chilling over here in the hot tub, and finally kind of the fort kind of base over here. And it looks like we've got some Marvel characters joining us.
Yeah, lots happening here. I also really like this kind of train they have going around here, this very simple 2x tiled track that has the names of all the builders who worked on this project. It's really cool.
And to finish this section out, we've got this tower build here, and then some Monty Python and the Holy Grail characters, always very fun. I love that. You can see his limbs just laying there on the table. That's fantastic. And then nature breaks through with, again, kind of a stained glass type idea and these flowers coming through. And then Fabuland, Super Friends, and Batmobile, so it's like DC meets Fabuland.
Yeah, you got mechs, fire trucks, you got the classic blue Batmobile. Lots of very interesting parts here from that old Fabuland line as well. The windows, the trees especially.
We'll hop back over to the tables on the edge and pick back up where we left off with these Technic vehicles. So it looks like you've got a bunch of different motors in here and then some of the car chassis. So it really gives you kind of a look inside the vehicles and you see how a lot of this comes together, which is really neat. Moves perfectly into a nice little racetrack. A bunch of some of the Mario Kart Speed Champions and that stuff represented, and a huge pile of trophies from over the years. And then it looks like kind of more vehicles. So there's a lot of Technic competitions and things. There's a boat race that happens here. So a lot of that type of stuff is represented at the show.
Yeah, a lot of these vehicles were actually driving around the convention floor this morning. Lots of very interesting ones and lots of very classic kind of style vehicles. The tractor that we just passed as well. That was one driving around. And we move into a lot of different things. We've got some Star Wars. We've got some more Green Army Men focused things as well. And then we've got the big final battle scene from The Incredibles with that 2D kind of city backdrop there is very nice.
And some fun animal characters in here. Elemental nunchucks. We've got an old Apple computer, Lego buggy machine. And then more vehicles. And it looks like we've got something that's actually moving here. So sorting bricks by color. So you can see down here in the tub where all the bricks are in the color. So
see where what the computer sees is logging and then what
this is what every Lego fan needs here to sort their collections at home. Very impressive.
I mean, considering I'm colorblind, I'll take the prototype.
I need science to do it for me.
Yeah, it's like I could use this 100%. Olive green and dark tan, I cannot tell apart. And those are the only colors I use.
Wow. Great job. And finishing out this section is this kind of tiered city here. So at the path that runs down to the water and then all these buildings, then kind of an homage to almost a yellow castle design in the back there.
Love some great landscape here as well, especially like up kind of the cliffside. Lots of snot building as well for the slope kind of tier up to the top there. It's really cool buildings and things as well. And there's some interior on the side here as well.
Yes, it's always fun when there's kind of hidden scenes around the sides. That's always very cool. We'll head back over this direction, starting with the Balrog approaches. So we've got a Lord of the Rings kind of black light scene where you shoot down in there, and I think the Balrog is coming into the scene there, I think, at the end.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I love that.
Now you gotta put the ring on.
You even got the ring there as well.
No, seriously.
Okay, you want to
That's the best part.
We'll try it out.
I don't know if it'll fit on my pinky.
Fit. Now look through it. Now look down there again.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
That's terrifying. That's awesome.
This is what you set in motion now.
I am the one ring. If I can get it off now. There we go.
There we go.
It is
Thank
my
you.
one ring, so, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then a bunch of mosaics here. So we've got Fly with the Angels, and then Psyduck and Pokemon. Got several different Pokemon, Magikarp and stuff represented here. This build is super impressive. Marcus Station, Stanford Tourist Space Habitat. So very slow moving whale here with this large city.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the curvature in of itself is impressive, but you have the micro scale all kind of built into it as well. And getting it to move and stay standing is incredible.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got a winter-themed kind of a Christmas market, it looks like, in the middle of this display. So medieval theme happening there. The Hex Press and Jedi High Council, some Star Wars scenes, and lightsaber build. So maybe a asteroid field up here.
Yeah, it looks like the Battle of Christophsis from, I guess, the space perspective. The wise leader knows when to follow. So I also, this specific Unilug, they have these 3D printed Lego do not touch signs, which are awesome. Those are super cool. Surrounding these really awesome mechs. Lots of really cool parts usage in these as well. Lots of really nice colors as well.
And then we go into a haunted maze. So you try to make your way through all of these haunted traps and a metal band stage. Looks like Battle of Peruvian Power Plants. And Pirates of the Caribbean, Fisk Tower. And then the Great Pug War, the sequel here, where we've got the Animals of War.
I feel like this reminds me, I guess it was 2 years ago when they had the penguins and porgs.
Yes,
battles
that's
in here.
back this year. They keep adding to it.
So I love these kind of animal versus animal, all the CMF options that we're getting nowadays to do really fun things with them.
Speaking of animals to be or not to be, with the honey in here, and you've got tons of fun honeybee designs. Then we see some examples of kind of including the kids more. So some of these tables are dropped lower, and it lets kids kind of appreciate the builds a bit more.
Yeah, and a lot of lugs and a lot of groups who do like very large displays have kind of adopted this strategy so that you can kind of see into everything as opposed to looking across stuff, because people who are shorter kids can't really see all the fine details that we put so much effort into building. So also love this kind of tiered, so you have a lot more display space as well. This nice biplane hanger up here with all the movement there is really nice.
Mm-hmm. And coming around the corner, we've got a huge sort of post-apocalyptic type city design here. So there's this giant, looks like cannon on the top, and then tons of detail all around here. So you could look at this for an hour and pick out details.
Yeah, so it looks like the name of it is Rust Haven, or formerly Junkertown. So lots of really cool stuff. I like a lot of the curve. You get the curved building here, but then also this kind of hangar, almost like jet engine spot over on the side here. Lots of just really cool details, cool minifigures. I mean, little things here and there everywhere. Cool vehicles as well. Very nice. The
kind of post-apoc cyberpunk type builds are always incredibly popular, and ever since you had the massive cyberpunk layouts that have taken place over recent years, I think it's inspired a lot of builders. Here's a large tower with kind of a bunch of different levels and floors and scenes inside there. We've got Maleficent's castle with the knight headed to the top there of the rocks. And then Rapunzel's tower, some nice lighting in it. And then a mini bat cave with a whole bunch of kind of different cave scenes represented there. And a small kind of elven type build here. And then we've got different food from around the world represented. What's your favorite here?
I mean, I gotta go Italy, right? Pizza's a classic. I mean, you got tacos as well. Good old classic hot dog for America.
No sushi shout out?
I don't really do raw sushi. I mean, don't get me wrong, sushi's great. Sunday's good too. You got donuts, you got burgers.
A lot of good options. And Spider Ambush, some Star Wars scenes. We got Taylor Swift's Eras Tour represented in between the Star Wars builds. And then here's some Ninjago mechs. And I really love the colors in there, or the colors and the lighting, even lighting represented inside there. You got Stitch and Scrump. And then finishing out this section is a brick town. So you've got some actual train tracks running through there with a bunch of modular type designs.
Yeah, and again, like we've stated already, lots of great lighting here, lots of colors as well. I love just kind of how alive all of that makes this display feel.
Mm-hmm. We'll head around the corner here, so we'll go around the outside and make sure we hit the very edge here. Our goal with these tours, like we always say, is to show you as much as possible of Brickworld as we possibly can and try to hit every single build. And if it feels like there's more this year, that's because there is. So this show just continues to break records every year. There's something like 2,100 AFOLs that are attending the show this year. So more and more builds. They're more and more packed on space here.
Yeah, and like not even did we only extend into another room of this facility, but we also shortened the aisles between the stanchions. So like we packed as much in here as we possibly could.
And this is one giant layout here. This is Welcome to Door County. So I believe this is a real area in the U.S. And so it's a build that's been kind of continuing to be added on to every year, and they've just expanded on it. So done by Door County Bricks, but I love all the micro scale kind of building is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean the foliage is great, all the different kinds of foliage you see, but also like the buildings and everything represented here. I also love how like natural it feels, right? You've got all the water surrounded, but all the wedge plates that kind of create the natural border of all the landscape. It's great.
And we'll come over here and start at this section. We've got a bunch of spaceships and Star Wars in here. The mosaic is done really well, and then some botanical type stuff up there. Very, very different. Not nearly as colorful as you normally see.
No, the kind of blacked out with the gold and some very brittle brown around it as well at the base. Next to a candle and some skulls and the eye of the storm down here.
Very
as well.
appropriate with the recent weather. Before everyone arrived for Brickworld, everyone just missed the tornadoes that we've had coming through.
We had the residual thunderstorms over on the East Coast. So next to some really cool trains, and then what appears to be the Hero Quest game system built in Lego. So this appears to be a functional game that whether we'll play during the public hours or the exhibitor hours.
There are a lot of functional game systems people build with Lego, and so they're able to actually be played while at the show here. Got some nice little like build rooms in there. The kitchen. This looks like 3D printed parts to build one of the Formula One cars. And the Millhouse Cafe. Got the Iceman, Caleb Williams from the Chicago Bears. Invasion at the Shire. You don't see a lot of classic space Hobbit crossovers.
Definitely not. I like that the Black Knight there is the ring wraith trying to take Frodo out there. Really, really cool crossover. And then behind that, you've got the Forestman's floating vacation hut. So a really cool kind of cloud city build there next to the tropical trading post.
And Top Bun, where you've got the bunny inside, the bunnies inside the cockpit driving the fighter jet. And then Count Dooku's Fate up there. You've got Doctor Doom, really nice build. I like the facial features there. And then it's a fun different little builds using that paper to kind of accent the designs. Shout out to the old Lego Racers game, also a 90s, early 2000s classic.
Yep, also before my time, but some very cool, very impressive brick bending here as well, and all these kind of little micro racers with the like monster-esque heads. We've got some cool like tank mech, spider mech things up there as well. And then we get into a whole lot of smaller kind of vignette style builds here.
Yeah, and shout out to the head on the minifig head on the turkey there. I'm not sure exactly what's happening in that situation. And then the Joker's getaway. We've got Buzz Snake in the Buzzlets. And then we've got like a topographical sort of map of New Mexico, it looks like. A Rhino Flyer TMNT build. Nice little KitchenAid. And Welcome to Aria Company. It's like, I don't know if that's based on something or not.
That's a little going to be outside of my pop culture range. I'm not sure. But a very cool, like, big purple building back here that I'm assuming will all be stacked up and lit up when they have it all put together. But very nice usage of these kind of Technic, almost like wedge arm pieces to create that domed roof effect.
And this is Windy City Lugs, and one of the local Chicago lugs, and this is their logo that they've built here as a mosaic. And then a series of builds that we've been seeing for years, kind of the builders continue to work on. Tom Jacobson, this is his Frank Lloyd Wright Star Wars crossovers. So this one is Darth Vader's house, and it's really fun to see how he mashes these two very different ideas together into some fun architecture. Then he's got his large Falcon Tower display with kind of a more peaceful time for the Black Falcons.
Yeah, very, very nice there. And then we come into a bunch of different Lord of the Rings scenes. So we've got the White City of Minas Tirith, we've got Gandalf's arrival, and then this much larger Shire display here as well with the kind of the entire living realm of Bag End there.
Now, I know you do a lot of military builds, but do you collect anything like the large-scale Lord of the Rings sets?
I do. I was at my Lego store on June 1st to get Minas Tirith. Yeah. So Star Wars and Lord of the Rings are my two official themes that I go after. You've got the Black Gate here. Some really nice bigger ones up here as well. The Balrog, we've got the Ints as well, and then this very nice Viking village here as well, kind of using some of the aspects of the Lego Icons Viking village set that came out a few years ago, surrounded by some really nice landscape as well.
Absolutely, and then you've got the small little vignettes, so it looks like for a lot of the D&D characters they built those. Over here is Basilica of the Sacred Heart from the University of Notre Dame. Shout out Notre Dame, South Bend. Love to see that represented here with just like a cutaway kind of cross-section of that building being built. And then all of the Ninjago characters. And I love to see a good brick separator build.
This is pretty great. The X-Wing built out of brick separators, separating the TIE Fighter there. That's a great build. I love seeing brick separators used in builds in such a creative term. Into the Alaskan float plane Cessna 172. So Very nice kind of upper scaled build there with the nice kind of rocky backdrop into some more smaller builds here.
Yeah, this bow tie gentleman looks really fantastic. A gumball machine in the background there. And looks like we've got an adventures kind of vibe happening with an archaeology dig. Some Lego, it looks like, some Modulex being sucked up there, kind of a tiny scale with the Modulex being sucked up. That's a really neat design. And then this squirrel represented down here with on the real wood. So Weekend in Havana. And then this huge Mecha Godzilla with the glowing eyes and the laser shooting out. Again, really nice use of these lower tables.
Yeah, for a lot of these more kind of character-esque things, you've got the Peril from Wings of Fire book series, Knifehead from Pacific Rim. Some really nice colors here as well as some much more cleaner, like studless, kind of arcade and mosaic style builds. Some more habitats as well.
The Cow in Bloom. And then a fantasy zoo. So it's all sorts of crazy stuff from Star Wars and different fantasy genres here built into a zoo.
And something terribly wrong is happening here at the end. I don't think that's going to be a good day for anybody.
Has everything you wish was in a regular zoo.
Fantastic work. Here's Frank Nazar. Looks like we've got a Chicago Blackhawks hockey player, and then a space colony. And looks like we've got a bunch of goats up there. The Brickles in Alaska, home of Bat Moose. You've got the moose dressed as Batman. He's even got his own logo.
Yeah, it's incredible the shaping they were able to get there on the mosaic there as well. And then down below we've got lots of smaller builds. I love these little speeders here, as well as these kind of like robot mechs as well. Some little windmills, and then some more kind of fun mechs here with the like claw machine, and really, really cool there.
And then Monster Life has a bunch of small but very detailed scenes using some of these special kind of citizen brick elements in here, so those are really neat to see. And VeggieTales, little scenes, and then Hobbiton, Muppet Christmas Carol. We've got a Duplo Hobbit hole. I'm not sure if I've ever seen one of those before.
I haven't either. I'm not sure. I think the door handle is a minifigure head. So, but everything else, I mean, Duplo, like, I don't know what that piece, the white piece is on top, supposed to be smoke, what that would have been used for in a Duplo set. Maybe a dumpling, I'm not sure, but nonetheless. And then into this massive, I guess, train station.
Chicago's Grand Central train station. So the big kind of brown brick, and then you've got the trains and the waiting platforms packed with people in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, it's some more very impressive brick building, brick bending, I should say there. And I love like these kind of builds displayed on a corner where you can look into it from one side, but then like go in and look into it from the other side. Are always super, super cool.
And that finishes out that section, so we'll go ahead and hop on over here and continue our tour. So a theme that you don't see represented very often at all, Knight's Kingdom, and using these bigger scale figures. Very, very few times that I've seen a build built with these figures.
This is probably the first time for me. I do own one of these somewhere.
I collected a few of these actually, because this was definitely when I was kind of in my prime castle age. So a lot of the minifigure scale sets from that theme, but then a few of the larger scale ones too. So it's cool to see that represented. And then over here is a Friends neighborhood market, and it's just absolutely jam-packed with details.
Very populated grocery store here. All the stands, all the aisles. Even got like, I mean, everything even spilled on the floor up by the cash register as well. Love the amount of detail in that.
Some nice bus designs, and then we get into a winter Star Wars theme. This is the Republic Echo base on Hoth. Over here is Costume Party, and then we've got some of our snail builds represented, including a tiny kind of Monopoly, looks like Modulex type design in there. Very neat. And then we've got Every Adventure is Awesome, and some kind of cup designs in here. Got the Vikings, some more habitats, and a very nice kind of paint canvas in here. And then you've got the Pride flag built out of Modulex. And then some really nice, we featured some of these builds here before. This is different art designs built as little vignettes.
Yeah, so he's added quite a bit to this. He had this at Fredericksburg as well, and it's always awesome. I love that he has this out front as well, so you can kind of go through and see the real ones and then what he was able to do with it in Lego, and then the fact that he has it all displayed with the lights is awesome.
Coming back to Castle and Medieval, we have a huge layout here that includes the village with the iconic kind of church cathedral and just some really nicely done, unique kind of village buildings leading out to the huge wall and forest beyond.
Yeah, we've got some Assassin's Creed happening up there as well. I love all the banners that are kind of wired through the whole kind of town area here as well. Lots of great foliage uses as well. And then you come into this kind of massive army preparation stage. We've got all the cavalry and infantry out front there. Lots of fantastic trees and colors here as well before we kind of move into this big rocky tower with the waterfall coming out of it there and the windmill.
So it looks like they are preparing for an attack of some kind. I think maybe the Viking ships that are coming in here. So I think the land army is bracing for all of these Vikings that are about to land.
Yeah, I mean, Vikings, you got dragons battling up top as well. You've got many different factions appearing out here. A fish exploding or something happening there in the center. But lots of detail. I love all the lights in the water again as well. Lots of really great ships.
Very impressive there. And here we have a parade happening. And it looks like we've got just a bunch of different floats with musicians and things. We've got Minions, some Scooby-Doo, and Wizard of Oz. Everybody loves the parade. Very true. Little tiny babies playing poker and some Star Wars builds here. And then we've got a Waffle House with the menu included, so very unique display.
The menu and the hat as well. You got the full package there at Waffle House. Obviously, a staple of American culture. Any international friends who come to these shows, you have to get to a Waffle House. And then we move into some incredible, what appear to be mostly custom minifigures. You've got Star Wars, Marvel, DC, all kinds of different things going on here.
I've loved all of the Europeans coming over for the World Cup and discovering Waffle House. No Waffle House in Chicago that I'm aware of, so you're going to have to go to one of the southern shows for that.
Yeah, we definitely passed. I definitely passed a few going down through Atlanta. That's for sure. We go into this cool Hogwarts sideways stories from Hogwarts School, so some cool Harry Potter scenes going on here. Lots of different figures and storytelling there.
Castle on the Clouds, so lots of fun pink bright colors, and it looks like you've got your kind of unicorn flying horses represented, so just a very fun whimsical design. And then another fun whimsical design with the Fairy Garden Village, and these using the kind of normal scale Lego botanicals, but at this scale it feels really almost like trees.
Yeah, like forest level, like jungle level trees. Lots of cool colors here as well. Lots of very interesting minifig usage as well with a lot of the different CMF animals.
Yeah. And we'll move down this direction then. We'll stay in this aisle and jump across over here to Pinot Creations. And it looks like we've got a lot of video game builds to kick us off here.
So we got Kirby, we've got some Mega Man, I think. Lots of so some Pokemon as well, I believe. So lots of really cool characters, pop culture references here as well. I would try to guess what more of them are, but there's no mock cards out yet, so I'm not even going to try to. I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Somebody in the comments down below, you can let us know what these characters are from. Let us know your favorite here. And then we've got a wearable and animatronic Fredbear head. So not only does it have movement, but you can actually wear it. That's very impressive.
It's also slightly terrifying.
And then we've got the Amazing Digital Circus here, Five Nights at Freddy's builds, Space Chase, and a wearable Lego jacket worn by Jason Momoa for those World Play Day promotions that Lego was doing online. So that's super cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. The use of this kind of like net, it's become much more popular over the last couple of years, using Lego nets and similar style things to do these kind of wearable pieces out of Lego. Got a baseball glove as well, and it's a really cool kind of 2D, almost graffiti-like style builds here. I've got bricks as well as the resist, and this really nice like sand green clock attached to a building there is really cool.
Yeah, I think the old Marshall Fields store, medieval times here. So there's a medieval times, I think, near in Schaumburg, which is why you see several builds based on that. And this is Steamy's Emporium, so some more steampunk represented here. And I like the kind of moving water wheel. And then we mentioned earlier the return of Penguins versus Porgs with much more spacecraft.
Yeah, so I hadn't been over here yet, so I'm glad we get to see it. We also got the like slime aliens out here as well this time. I love just the utter like infantry on infantry force battle happening out here. We got wolves carrying penguin soldiers. We've got artillery for the Porgs as well. All the spacecraft. Very, very intense combat happening here.
I love a year-over-year kind of unfolding story when it's super fun like this, and you're always excited to see what the builder brings back the next year. Then a bunch of movie scenes. So you've got The Grinch and Batman and Jurassic World, and Dune, and Star Wars. So a lot of iconic scenes there. Quilt block. You've got some sunflowers and kind of a different take on the globe there. And then a bunch of mechs and spacecraft mixed in with some Sonic. And then a few Fallout builds here with the Vault and the Wasteland and kind of some of the artwork there. It's very iconic.
Yeah, the Fallout has become very, very popular. People doing these kind of big printed or decaled signs and things like that. It's really cool, like post-apocalyptic style builds. And then we have Forrest Gump just chilling on the bench. Next to some really cool vignettes as well for what appears to be kind of 40-year anniversaries of different things that happened in 1986. So really cool builds there.
Heading back down this direction, this is a very unique display that I don't think I've seen it at a show before. So we were talking to the displayer earlier. This is 90% of every Lego minifig ever made. So it's crazy the collection that this guy has built up here, and he just brought it out for people to see. So he's got a lot of the really unique ones that he'll have on display during the public hours for everyone to see. But there are tons of kind of one-off unique things in here. He's even got like the Mario scale cubes and things.
Yeah, I mean, like I was looking at this a little bit earlier. Like it's insane to kind of look through this and see how many, especially of like Star Wars, like how many different variations of the same figure there are. But I mean, he's got Duplo figures, like you said. He's got the Mario figures, every theme you can possibly imagine. It's quite literally insane. I mean, he's got some of the oldest stuff. There's figs in here from before I was born. There's probably figs in here from before you were born.
I think there definitely is. Yes, it's not hard to find a fig from before you were born, Caden.
Fair enough. I mean, anything after like 2020, I'm older than after 2020, so we're good there.
We'll jump back over here. So you've got this photo op here with the sheriff in the Old West scene. And then I love this Western scene. So I was looking at this earlier. A lot of times I feel like Western scenes just kind of have a lot of base plates laid out and stuff, and they'll sometimes lack detail. But then this one I feel like is just really, really well done. Very smooth. Not a lot of studs showing on the buildings and things. So I like how they did this.
Yeah, and I like that each building is like specifically after something else. They've all got the kind of brick-built signs. The brick-built covered wagons as well. You've even got the little detail, the smoke coming out of the train as well. I also love the church up on the hill there and the landscape surrounding it. Like that corner kind of goes from this like plain desert, area to kind of the more woodland area in the back there. Great trees. This is my color palette, so like I'm all over this regardless. But fantastic build.
Yeah, very impressive. Here we have Area 51 being played. So this is an arcade machine. Looks like the case is all built out of Lego, but the games are fully playable. So this is a shooting game that these two guys are playing right now. So really cool to see this combination. We see a lot of this at Brickworld this year, the combination of Lego and kind of playability in there. Moving into Twin Lug, so this is the Minneapolis St. Paul Lego Users Group, always come out with a large display. And right now it looks like this is kind of a seasonal type corner that they have here.
Yeah, it says the Grove of Trees is a collaborative showcase of individual mental health journeys. So each builder has a tree representing themselves, and they're collaborating them together here, which is a really cool kind of, not super outside of the norm a thing. We've got a cool, looks like some Japanese style architecture here, as well as the botanical garden and some cool jungle zip line
Yes.
happening here as well.
I love to see the zip lines represented. That's a super fun idea to build with Lego. And then, of course, the parking lot and kind of the botanical garden to get in there. Here we have a train and then a wearable. This is the Red Star Construct Mark III. So I believe the builder of this was maybe wearing it earlier today, walking around the show. So the wearable stuff is always super impressive. Going into Redstone Fortress, some desert landscape builds, a tiny micro Mario Kart. I love the fun little details.
Yeah, like micro scale, they got the egg and the hot dogs there as the fronts of the vehicles there. They've even got the track in the back there with the piranha plants coming out there. Micro scale is such a fun scale to build and use those smaller parts to see what you can accomplish. They've got the Clue game as well as a tower in the deep. So you've got the fish warriors defending the castle there. Some cool micro animals up top as well. Really nice
Funny,
parts
the like
there.
plastic tubes to store them, like you could buy animals as a kid. That's a really fun idea there for the storage. And then this is some more concerts. So looks like this is Spinal Tap. So it's movie scenes from this is Spinal Tap, and then Minecraft, Fantastic Four, Scarecrow. We got a Harambe tribute, just a few years late.
Just a few years. I mean, he's entering the gates. He's got his halo on there, using the Lord of the Rings gold chrome ring. And then probably the most terrifying thing I've seen at Brickworld so far, called Thursday. And
Whoa.
it's a massive worm-esque creature made of Wednesday's faces.
Okay. Yes, I could go without ever seeing that again and be perfectly happy. This is a 1929 Ford Model A truck. We've got some new tires, it says, improving the truck. Then a tree and a nice kind of micro scale skylines. And then in memory of Bill Payne here, Mosaic. And that brings us to kind of a bookends type display, curling. Yeah, curling bookends. And this huge, I didn't even notice how crazy tall this tower is here, but this huge space layout.
Yeah, the sheer height, I'm not tall, but the sheer height of that, like, I'm not even a quarter of that.
Yeah.
Standing next to it, that thing, I'm shocked it's not at the ceiling. So, but a massive, very smooth, classic space layout. They've kind of got the M-Tron end here with the Starfighter and all the figures here, and then it kind of moves into this very sleek, white, like moon base-esque build here with this kind of newer style monorail here. Lots of great detail. Got all the aliens there in the middle. Lots of super cool detail and lighting here.
The lunar vehicle hub in the background. Yeah, the lighting really makes this pop because there's so much internal space and details that without that lighting you wouldn't be able to appreciate it much. So I love to see that. We've got kind of a landing pad here with cargo being unloaded and botanical area. This upscaled crystal has its own lights, which is really fun. And then towards the end over here, it looks like you've got a kind of volcano, maybe some stuff starting to erupt out of there.
Yeah, definitely not going to be a good day for the guys up top roasting their hot dogs. But I love the use of the net technique with whatever technique he's got underneath to kind of make it bubble up there. Is really cool. He's got the working conveyor down here for the crystal mining as well. And then again, just the immense height of this satellite. We're not tall, and that thing's 3 times as tall as we are. So absolutely insane.
And it's DuckTales here, so I think this is Duckburg. So you've got the whole cityscape build out, and then of course the massive money vault. So we've seen the money vault built before, but I don't think I've ever seen the whole cityscape with DuckTales and Duckburg being built out, so that's very fun.
Yeah, I like the CMFs have given people so much room to really like kind of do a whole lot with Lego, like whether it be the CMF figures just randomly or like the Disney ones where you really can just create anything you want out of Lego.
And we've got kind of nice photography and art meets Lego with some of these framed photos here and shadow box type designs. Then a Micropolis display. You've got Wizard of Oz in there and just all sorts of fun, unique designs, including a burger-themed tower and Lightning McQueen in the background. Then the rabbit here eating all these carrots is really fun. It's especially how it's gotten out on the table. I like that.
Yeah, I love the way that he uses the Technic to kind of create the cage. You got some of the throwback flexing of the chrome parts for the water feeder there on the side. And then like just lots of really fun kind of parts dumping in the middle there for the straw and everything that would be inside the cage. into some really cool, like, state of Minnesota, like, flag style builds here, or not flag, but like the state shape style builds here.
Exactly.
Um,
And then what do we have? Like a mariachi, Day of the Dead mariachi stack down here. And then different trees represent. So this is back to where we started here with those tree designs. So we'll work our way back over here. We didn't have a chance to show you the Larry Bird Celtics display. So this person is apparently a very big fan of Larry Bird. He's even got the little miniatures in there and everything.
yeah, he's got pictures, he's got the figures, everything. Very, very cool upscale build, very much captured very well. Super, super cool.
And we'll head diagonally this direction to these large towers over here. And we will start with this big orange, looks like cargo helicopter, and then make our way to this. We've got the purple lavender tower, lots of movement in the sides there, and even the top section.
Yeah, you got like lots of cool figures and stories happening in each of the kind of corner columns as well. Again, lots of really nice colors as well, lots of cool figures. Got the dragon climbing up here. You've got Indiana Jones on his motorcycle down there as well. And then that kind of transitions into this like very snow, icy style castle here as well, or cloud castle. So kind of the exact opposite appeal. You got the white and the trans clear. Some cool teal brick separator usage there as well.
It's, Dreams and Nightmares, the builder said. So there you go. Yes. Fantastic work. Thank you. And we've got an Amish barn raising here. Now this really reminds me of home back in Indiana. Loved to see how quickly they can construct a barn.
Yeah, definitely a cool build using the Citizen Brick Amish figures there. Got the barrels in the ground. They got even the horse-drawn carriage there as well. Like the greenhouses. Very, very cool build to see represented in Lego. Next to some house interiors for, I guess, what appears to be an Amish home.
Yeah.
Very cool there.
And then over here we've got 7 Brew, a coffee chain that I think has been expanding across the country, so seeing more and more of these in our travels. Then Rainbow Connection, and some great kind of town train layout. You've got motel here. I like the cutaways so you can see inside some of these buildings. And then just some of the modular buildings. We've got a cat statue, maybe an art piece in the middle of the city.
Maybe he's definitely wreaking some havoc on the micro trains there. But he's got his bow tie on as well, right next to some really nice trains here. And then we kind of get into this medieval kind of fantasy village here. And
Wolfpack Tower.
Yeah, a very large castle battle happening here. I love kind of the use of some of these, like, appears to be like custom like dwarf beards as well. Very nice. I love the color scheme at the top of the keep there. Is very nice.
Mm-hmm. The Wolfpack have decided they're tired of being the oppressed faction. They're going on the offensive and besieging the castle. Then over here is the massive Shed Aquarium. So Chicago's iconic aquarium, really, really incredible for anyone who has a chance to visit. If you come to Chicago for Brickworld, you should definitely spend several days in Chicago visiting some of the great museums and aquariums and zoos that the city has. The Shed Aquarium is amazing. You can pet a penguin there. So if that's ever been on your bucket list, lots of fun experiences.
I'll definitely add it to the list. I know when we were in Atlanta for BrickCon earlier this year, we went to the Atlanta Aquarium for the first time, and that was incredible. So as we round the corner, we come into some more of this kind of big train display. We've got what appears to be a little bit of an unfinished building here, but we've got the train yard with some very nice locomotives and train cars here. Very nice colors. This blue and orange one is really nice. And then we kind of come back in towards the city and what appears to kind of branch into some Harry Potter as well.
And a little town layout. And then I think Alfred Hitchcock movies with the birds and Rear Window. And then, yes, Harry Potter here. So it's fun to see the way they did kind of the front of this build. I think it's a neat design. Little carnival scene over here. And then this is a medieval build, but it looks like they're stuck in the water. I like the way they did the torsos in the water.
Yeah, and there's a lot happening here. You've got some Gungan warriors. You've got some Black Falcons. You've got these spider mechanized SpongeBob characters with the mohawks and spears. You get a flame sorcerer back there as well. There's a lot of different things happening here.
And we'll finish this section out with the old school kind of fast food design. So your old school Pizza Hut and Taco Bell and your KFCs. Love those fun old colorful designs. Then we'll head back towards the front And we've got a few final displays up in this section that we want to make sure we hit. And we'll keep going back then. So here is Wicker. Using those bush elements is really impressive. And then I love this like dress built out of the leaf elements here. So a lot of kind of combination of nature and kind of human creatures.
Yeah, some like fantasy style characters here. And then the ask about my hawk pocket. So not entirely sure what that's a reference to, but a very cool building there. Some nice lit tree back there as well.
Here we have the Spider-Verse. What if the Spider-Verse was just an illusion created by Mysterio? And so these buildings are at a really, really impressive angle. And then you've got, I forget this guy's name in the middle, Dotman or something like that. Somebody can correct me in the comments. But it looks like he is the villain here in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the angle of these buildings is insane. He has the kind of the hands of the character in the middle mounted to these buildings. And I love what he's actually like able to do with the base as well. He's kind of got this rounded base that holds everything together.
And then moving up here to the last in this row of sections, this super detailed build, it looks like this is from Helldivers 2. So I've heard a lot about these games. People say they're great. I've never played it, but this is a great build.
I haven't played it. I have lots of friends who play it. And I know there was a big craze when there was a company doing custom figs, so he definitely has some of those in here representing the Helldivers themselves. Kind of a post-apocalyptic, like futuristic style, military-esque thing. We've got a Stalker from Helldivers 2 as well. Some cool kind of mech style armor there. And then a very nice cyberpunk city. Again, love the lighting in this. These kind of like running 8-bit signs as well are a very nice touch.
The graffiti to represent the lug is very fun too. Bunch of Star Wars builds here, more Fallout. So this is a build from Fallout 4. You can see kind of the little robot butler type design in there. And then, like you said, always using those fun graphics, which is such like an iconic part of the Fallout universe. Coming over here back to Cyberpunk, really impressive. And Jedi Survival Star Wars inspired mock. So they've got, looks like kind of action, there's explosion and they're falling down.
Yeah, I love how like almost thin this build seems. Like he's got kind of this blown away section of the wall with like almost like rebar going through there. And the amount of action he has, even with this small stand holding up with the Imperial gunship there, the greebling around the base, very, very well done.
Here is a huge building. It looks like this is based on a real-life building here. We'll have to find, let's see if we can find oh, there's the mock card, thank you. This is Fruitport Pomona House Hotel. So there's some old, looks like newspaper clippings. It was a health spa in the 1870s. So I love that kind of wraparound porch design, I think is really neat, and just kind of that old style architecture.
Yeah, I mean, it looks super clean. It's got, all the tile and everything in here. Very studless look from around the base. I love the fact that like what appears to be in the wall is mostly built out of plates, so you get a lot of this small contour between the different sizes of pieces and jumpers to really add that kind of effect to the walls.
And then Carmen Sandiego here, kind of on top of the world. And it looks like Bruce Leroy and some characters there. And then Family Matters, you got Steve Urkel, Meteor Man, Blank Man. So a bunch of different really nice character designs there. And then Star Wars Battle of Jakku. So great detailing on the landscape.
Yeah, I love the landscape. Lots of very cool greebling technique between the grayscale and the earth tones. Lots of really nice motion, especially with all the troopers with the jetpacks and everything flying around. Very, very nice. It's also a non-linear display. You've got this very kind of natural-esque border going on here. I absolutely love this.
And that takes us to one of the larger scale builds here. This is Serenity Firefly. So it's got the large landscape built out here. Jim Butte, who we featured his work many times, is mostly known for his historic ships, but also his super large scale spaceships. So basically anything big with the name ship in it, and he's on it.
Pretty much, yeah. When you come, like, there's like one of 3 people in the community. You see a massive ship, you're like, it has to be one of 3 people, and Jim Butte is one of them. I believe like that Serenity is kind of making a resurgence. I know in my early days of Brick Fair, there was someone who had a large ship like this. and now it's starting to make its return. So, but I love the fact that he's got this massive base for it. It's not just the ship. He's got kind of the rest of the story going as well here. What appears to be some movement as well in this kind of track of the smaller speeder. So hopefully that'll be on during the public hours tomorrow. And moving into a small Battle of Utapau build. Got some great kind of snot building here. I love the greebling of the wall textures there as well. And then just some really great detail in the explosion on the landing pad there as well.
And very, very packed Star Wars battle for Viridia here, Republic versus Separatists. And then back here we go, large scale once again with the last Separatist base on Naboo. And you've got a packed bridge battle happening in the background. So this is the Battle of Megiddo. So a whole lot of Star Wars represented. As always, it's always going to be a popular theme here. We'll head this direction then. So we've got some builds over here. We'll kind of run down this line of builds. We can start at this corner right here. And why don't you take us through some of these?
So these are probably the worst builds here at Brickworld.
I didn't want to say it.
No, so these are all the historical vignettes that I brought with me this year. So most of these were built for a display at the Marine Corps Museum depicting the history of the Marine Corps, and then the few stragglers being the Scots in France and then the U.S. Airborne in Upottery leading up to the Normandy invasion. So Tarawa is probably the most popular, my favorite. I've even got Sergeant Seawash, the rubber ducky there in the water. It's a real story apparently. I looked it up, so that was fun. That was a fun detail to add. But yeah, so this is everything that I brought with me this year. This is the whole Charm City area here.
So was that just a one-time display, or will you permanently display any of these at the museum?
So that was a one-time display. These will likely go to a couple more shows and then get kind of permanently retired to my personal kind of display at home. And then one of our other members brought a couple of these other vignettes. So he's got the World War II German vignette here, a couple Star Wars ones, and then a very nice Snot Castle one as well. I love how the kind of smooth water transitions to the rockwork. He's got a very nicely built castle tower there as well.
And then here's Medina al-Muzara. So looks like kind of a Middle East inspired type display. It's very nice. Kid Icarus Final Battle, and then Metroid Final Battle. Here we've got Kirby, and then some kind of artistic type designs, and the DFW Curling Club logo, a woven cube, and then a pride parade happening here. This large Brick Co. building. So then we've got a few builds here. So we've got a large Battle of Hoth happening, and a unique way to do the pillars.
Yeah, he's got kind of the main reactor happening in there, which is really nice, right below the ion cannon. Again, we've talked about it with a couple previous builds, having these big open areas so you can really see inside all the details the builders have added on the inside, and then you've got the massive battle happening outside as well.
And then we move into some nice characters here. So just kind of, some of them are standing, some of them are floating. So some really, really nice, unique designs. And then we'll head further in this direction. So we start at this table with, I believe, Animal Crossing. And then I love this Nintendo Switch too, and that perspective on the Mario Kart I think is really fun.
The third person perspective there. I like the Animal Crossing build down here at the bottom is using not 2x2 tiles, but the weird kind of middle tiles with all the rounded quarter tiles to get this really interesting wavy effect in the sand there. That's a very, very cool technique, super tedious, I'm sure. We've got some other creatures up top here, the bearded dragon and the peacock mantis shrimp there, as well as the steampunk robot, some really cool parts usage in there. And then the duel in the ruins and the frog mech. Shout out to Simon Liu there.
Always more frogs with Simon. Goku on the flying Nimbus. And then Avengers Quinjet. Here is a show accurate Ninjago design and legendary Toa, some Bionicle here. And large Evangelion unit. I think that's what it's called. And then it looks like we've got a Marvel city here.
Yeah, got a large Marvel city. You've got some of the villains here, some of the heroes up top as well. And then below you've got a baseball game happening with what appears to be jetpacks or something happening there. into a very upscaled brick separator.
Yes, with a classic Super Soaker back there, and then little claw machines, and then Scooby-Doo themed builds here, and then this is your Lego multi-tool, so whatever you need.
Those are pretty cool. I like the use of different parts there, creating your multi-tool there.
Over here is Oscorp and the Daily Bugle, so another Spider-Man themed layout. And then Batman's visit to the iceberg here. So I love the tower design and then all those super detailed rooms inside there. The Spots breakout. Oh, the Spot. That's the name of the guy from the other build we saw. There we go. And then Goldfinger's Treasure from 007. Really fun, kind of above and below ground display, which you kind of see with both of these next to each other. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I love the kind of the thick black border at the base, kind of telling you what it is, and then the very clean, almost entirely studless approach that this builder has taken to creating landscape. And this amazing Tranquility build here, fantastic trees using those kind of like rubber fence style pieces, and the curvature of this road is absolutely incredible.
And that brings us to a super large scale, I believe this is X-Men build here. So you've got the jet kind of flying out from underground. You can see a battle happening underneath here. And then all of these huge robotic creatures up top joining the battle with the X-Men mansion. So you don't see a lot of large scale X-Men builds like this.
Definitely not, and I'm not sure what this big purple character is. There's a lot of them. One of them has been decapitated. I think of all of this, the thing that really catches my eye is the curvature and the way they've used the wedge plates to create this kind of final room here with, I think it's Professor X in the middle there, with all these cool translucent monochrome figures running around. Not something to easily get your hands on, but certainly a cool inclusion here.
Yeah, I love to see that. Very impressive. And an absolute iconic television show, The Great British Bake Off. You love that they've included the cameramen here and the announcers and commentators, and then all of the baking equipment and even great techniques here to do kind of the backdrop.
Yeah, really nice curvature there. Again, like you said, I love all the different utensils. They've got all the Bain Maries with their spatulas and whisks and such there. I can, as a baker myself, I can appreciate that for sure.
Endless railroad. So this is a unique approach to a train build where you've just got the rail track running continuously, and it looks like it's running super smooth right now.
Yeah, that's super, super cool.
And we've got a mech bay, and then Bluey's house, and Super Mario Party Whomp's Domino Ruins. And that brings us back with these Mario builds to where we started. So we'll go ahead and jump over to the next series of builds. And it looks like we start off with a Hobbiton here. So we've seen a lot of Lord of the Rings and Hobbit builds.
Yeah, I think with the popularity of the big 18-plus icon sets, that Lord of the Rings has started to make its resurgence.
And the minifigs are much more accessible now. They had skyrocketed on the aftermarket from the original run.
Yeah, that's still slightly my fault. That's fine. The sand green Frodo Baggins torso doesn't exist anymore. You've got the atop I'm a hen there, kind of the scene leading up to Boromir's death in the Fellowship of the Ring. They got Mount Doom there as well. Helm's Deep, nice microscale Helm's Deep. That's really nice there. Lots of really, really cool kind of smaller vignette style builds for the Lord of the Rings, especially the Mines of Moria with the cave troll there is really nice as well.
Yeah. And over here is an elven castle, so very Lord of the Rings-esque. I don't know if it's actually Lord of the Rings, but it's very much feels like it's from that universe.
For sure. Yeah, I think it fits that vibe. You've got a lot of the Lord of the Rings characters. I do like the use of the translucent blue garage pieces to create the waterfall there. That's a really nice effect. And then just a lot of really great landscape and architecture here.
And a battle axe looks like it can be picked up and held, and then mini rock raiders. So one of the iconic themes from my childhood. Love seeing that represented in kind of a small scale. And then underwater Atlantis. So tons of fun details to pick out here, especially speaking of Lord of the Rings, kind of using that Rivendell roof type design there.
Yeah, the kind of angled tiles there. Got the great bridge up top as well with a lot of the almost looks like monochrome statues with different types of figures parts there. The kind of tridented warrior down here fighting off what appears to be some kind of like sea serpent or kraken or something. But, like we see a lot of underwater builds over the last couple of years, is very interesting kind of parts usage for this underwater foliage. You got popsicles, hairbrushes, beehives, all kinds of different things.
And around this corner, we've got a sunrise lioness. So I love this with kind of the sun silhouetting the lioness in the foreground. You can kind of see a bit of the inspiration there underneath that, but I think that's a really great design. And sticking with the cat theme, we've got we've got litter box and several different cat inspired builds.
Love the realism in the litter box there. It's a very, very nice touch. I've got a micro scale Link's Awakening village here from the Zelda game. So kind of the whole map there is very nice with the figures and everything. Into some really cool Super Smash minifigures. So all the different characters, I would assume, from Super Smash Bros. There.
There was a huge Super Smash Bros. Collab that happened at Brickworld a couple years ago, and I think that's what all of these are from. But that collab was very impressive.
It was very impressive. And then during World of Lights, they were playing on the wall.
Oh, yes.
Up here, yeah. That was fun. And they've got up here, Lego DJ as well.
Yeah.
That appears to work, as well as the Gujik gas giant. So.
There's tokens of appreciation I think the builders have done over the years and left to show how much they appreciate a build.
Very, very cool idea to use all of those. I know a lot of mine I just kind of put in a drawer and keep them as little tokens, but putting them to use here in a fun kind of build there. We move into a lot of different botanicals here.
Yeah. Really, really impressive collection of botanicals in here, including, it looks like the builder has the ones that they used on their wedding cake. So it's really, really impressive to see such a great variety displayed here at Brickworld. Very impressive. And then some funny flowers. You got minifig heads and brick separators.
Yeah, I like that they're using the minifig heads down as the kind of the water in the vase as well. Some of the Spider-Man printed heads there as well, and those roses. And then this kind of large minifigure storage cube as the flower bed there for the different stages in the growth of the flower there.
And then finally using, some of the minifig heads and the wreaths and things, and then fish bowls at the end. So lots of different approaches to the botanical line. Jump across here. We don't want to skip this section. This is Roldan Grace, who always brings some incredible kind of character animal designs. This is his red fox here, and you look at the fur on that is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, even just the fact that the angle that the head is positioned and the transition is almost entirely seamless. The shaping he's able to get on these, even in the legs and the posability. And he's even gone as so far as to build the base for it to be on. I love the use of these kind of, the rubber stem piece we've seen for other things, kind of as this wildland grass, as well as these kind of smaller birds. You got Mr. Ping from Kung Fu Panda. Very nice, very nice.
Whatever this guy with the bat is, I'm not sure what that is, but then you've got a cat mothership there. And heading back this direction, so you can see we're getting close to this is finishing the first half of our tour. So the vendors are set up in the middle of the room here at Brickworld. So we'll do kind of this half of the room. So we'll start now in with this wearable here. So this is kind of a dress. It almost reminds me of chainmail in a way.
Yeah, to an extent. I don't even know what piece that's using. It looks like the Lego ring piece. So that's a really cool parts usage with these kind of bigger light gray panels here as well. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got the Knight of Swords and a flower build. And here's a giant, let's see, it looks like just the skeleton of some kind of a dinosaur type creature going into a huge collection of Star Wars builds on display. Looks like that's from Brick Eurasia, which is a show in Istanbul. I think there's some representatives visiting the show. And then I love this Dunes of Dustmark. Just has a really nice, clean vibe to it.
Yeah, the amount of love the curvature of the landscape here, especially the use of a lot of the different earth tones to kind of create these snot rounded mesas as well, and kind of that central castle there. It's very nice.
And over here is a city block. So that's what you've got. So you've got the subway running underneath. You've got an elevated Waffle House, and then just living quarters and things like that on the left side. And we've got a Brooklyn subway car from X-Men Graffiti, and then a pigeon with Nimbus, and let's see, Tentacle Attack, Pirate Cove, and Falcon's Gate. So I love the posing on a lot of these medieval scenes this year.
Yeah, the amount of figures and like the use of the foliage as well. Olive green is such a great accent color. and I just love how like they've been able to kind of capture that whole medieval aesthetic. We move into the samurai build here. Very nice small kind of island style build. For just colors usage and parts usage there.
In that Brick Eurasia event in Istanbul, Turkey that I mentioned, they built the logo. It's a red house. And then this is kind of a unique where it's almost like a tiger type design, I think.
Yeah, and it's untitled according to the mock card. So, but yeah, it looks to be some sort of cat, animal, tiger, something like that. A really cool idea to kind of use this white background and these black pieces elevated off of it to create kind of not only the actual shape of it, but also kind of the shadow.
Fantastic work there. And then we finish out with the Hedwig build. And we'll jump over here. So we got to make sure we don't miss anything as always. So it's easy to get confused as we're making our way through. We'll start off with Lego Roku City. And I think that's the loading screen for a Roku TV where you're waiting for something to pop up. Someone built that, which is pretty funny.
That is interesting. I don't have a Roku TV, so I've never seen it, but I like the depth that they've been able to add to that. And then we come into the Comet Observatory, Super Mario Galaxy. So from the Super Mario games, they've got this very awesome kind of multi-tiered area here built up on its own stand. Got, I guess, what maybe appear to be some movement in this as well, but these cool, very curved tracks and everything from the Super Mario universe is great.
Yeah. Love to see more of the Mario builds popping up. That's always super fun. And now we go into the Nightmare Before Christmas, the Forest of Holiday Doors. You can see him getting sucked in there. I love that tree design. Then this is called We Have Work to Do with the bees there. And Samurai Heights, Such Great Core Virtues. So I think Such Great Heights is the theme for Brickworld this year. So you see references to some of that in the builds.
That's news to me, but I love the work with all the rock work that kind of elevates the technique they've used for all those waterfalls is very, very nice.
Here's Clash Royale, Royal Arena. So there's actually two different Clash Royale builds this year, which is kind of funny. I think this game has become more and more popular. So I think definitely among mobile gamers, a lot of people recognize this.
And this game's been out forever. I think it's starting to make its resurgence. But we come into the Rut-Row Raggy scene there, and then we move into the Smart Play duel on Mustafar here.
Our first representation of Smart Play at the show.
I'm interested to see if they're actually charged, and I'm assuming whoever this person is displaying this, if it's intended to be used in the public days, probably has a million smart bricks underneath, because they only last for 45 minutes.
Yes. Here is a build by number. This is Nighthawk's Lego Mosaic. So looks like they have this setup where you can kind of build based on the different color palettes here. So very impressive. Then Clutch Lug. I love the way they've built out the logo there. And some peonies and water. Whoa, that's super trippy. Using those colors to really mess with that. The blur there. I think the camera even picks it up nicely. That's crazy.
My eyes hurt. Yeah, that's trippy. We got the Quad de Montebello. I got close.
That's good enough. There we go.
Very, very cool kind of multi-tiered city-esque scape there. Next to the modular mountains, very nice kind of corner-esque with the adventurer down in the middle of the cave there. Very nice build there.
Finish out with the little peasant homes, and that finishes this section. So that takes us back this direction then, and it looks like we're going to start with some. We'll start on the left here. Yes. So I think we get into a whole bunch of. I was going to say Star Wars, but it looks like this section is actually medieval right off the bat with a ruined fort.
Yeah. So at least this next collection of builds is brought by Amateur Builder. Very talented builder. I worked with him a little bit on this for some of the castle stuff. Very super great texture in the wall there. I love kind of the run-down aesthetic of it. Again, we see the use of these kind of reddish brown and tan fortifications for these kind of Black Falcon-esque style builds. He's got the Pirates of the Caribbean build there, or a couple of them actually. Again, using the net technique for the water to create kind of the waves in the wake there. Very nice collection of smaller builds here with the Heart of Davy Jones, and then even some Minecraft builds as well.
Yes. And we've got the Great Hall entrance from Harry Potter, Titanium Ninja, and you got Zane represented, and then the Odyssey. You're about to see the release of Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie, so I know that's been a popular topic of conversation. And that moves into a crazy large-scale Star Wars build here.
Yeah, so this is the Empire Lug Naboo collaboration. So, to my knowledge, the largest, one of the largest collaborations of this scale, and especially of Naboo. So, I don't know exactly how many people are working on it, but I believe there's over 1,000 battle droids that are going to be a part of this build. So, I've seen a lot of progress from a lot of the different builders over on Instagram, and I'm very excited to see this thing all put together.
Yeah, so you can see it just continues to stretch all the way through the city here, and then they're still working on certain sections in here. Looks like they're going to be hard at work. We're recording this first half on Friday. They're going to be going late into Friday to have this ready for the public.
This will be ready by public hour starts at 9 or 10 tomorrow, so they'll be ready by like 8:59 tomorrow morning.
They're just putting the last droids down.
Yeah, the last droids. They'll still be building a couple base plates, I'm sure, but no, they always get it put together, and I mean these guys are absolutely incredible builders, so I'm super excited to see this thing put together completely.
We'll keep going this direction and then circle back, and I think this build might have been here last year. I think I recognized this from last year, or at least a similar design from the same scene.
Yeah, so the Battle of Urbana from Season 7 of the Clone Wars. I love that they have it spanning 2 tables, kind of showing that it can hold its own weight there, using the Technic links to create the almost like the wire trusses for the bridge there, with the clones and the Republic on one side and the Separatists on the other side. Very nice.
Yes. And then we've got the Mickey Mouse mosaic, Harry Potter. This is all pixelated pop culture, so there's a bunch of Pokemon represented. And then I love this build here. This is one of my favorite builds at the show. So it's kind of a classic Greek island Mediterranean paradise, and they've done, I think, like lightsaber bars for that background, which is crazy, just thousands of those to create that sunset, and then the iconic blue and white buildings with the ancient temple in the background.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's like beyond levels of insane. I mean, the sheer patience to sit there and meticulously put all of those there and make sure that it shines through the way you want it to it's absolutely incredible.
Over here is a whole lot more mosaics. So this is more Harry Potter, more Pokemon in here, just more pop culture stuff, and it looks like kind of a Lilo and Stitch inspired over here. Then we go into more architecture this direction. So this looks like it is definitely based on some real life city. Oh, it's based on Kiev, so in Ukraine. So it looks like you've got kind of a central pillar area, and then the way these buildings are set up, even at interesting angles and stuff, this is really impressive.
I dare you to try to pronounce that.
No idea how that is pronounced, but it is Ukraine, I can tell you that. Really, yeah, it's neat to see some of the photos here and kind of what the builder based that off of. So Independence Square, there you go. And this is, I think, a university building. So you got the cactus around, and then all of the kind of offices inside there with these large scale animals. And this looks like some rock islands in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, very, very interesting curvature there. It's still hard at work building there. We come into these 2 very large, very open and alive castles here. Again, lots of great lighting, lots of cool colors, and the fact that it's got all these different rooms that open up. It appears to be almost a full interior throughout this castle. Incredible build here.
Yes, I love this one down here on the end we saw last year. So this was kind of the builder's start, and then he's expanded on it with the new one. But it's a really, really neat idea because you can close all these up and it looks super seamless, but then you start to open all the doors and there's just like endless things to discover.
Yeah, it's almost like you have them all open, like every angle that you see it, like, and even the ones that open on a corner, you're looking all the way through the castle. So, whereas a lot of builds, a lot of times you see where on the outside it's built for visuals from the outside, but not necessarily with an interior, where the interior is mostly for structure. But in this case, he's really done the opposite. He's created a very beautiful exterior, but also given you the interior on the inside.
Is that something you've ever tried to incorporate into your builds much? Like open up and let's see what's in this Japanese bunker?
I have. I think so. In Mount Ye, there was one section of the rockwork that came out to show one of the gun pits. Most for the the rockwork stuff. So like Sugarloaf Hill that I'm working on now has all the caves, but
Yeah. Well, we can come back here to Boba Lug here, kind of finish out this line of displays. So I know starting down here on this corner and going this direction is a video game collab. So I think each builder took a different video game and built a scene from it.
interesting. So it's a lot of really cool games too. You got Prey, which is not one I've heard or played, but Marathon I have heard of, and there's a newer version of that just came out. You got the No 9 Souls, very nice landscape there. Resident Evil 4. I've got The Village for Resident Evil, The Last of Us, and The Last of Us Part 2. So these appear to be even more of like Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2, kind of playing both the original game and their sequels. Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. You've even got Grand Theft Auto represented here, as well as Minecraft. So some really awesome builds there. I love kind of the tie-in of pop culture into Lego. And then we come around into some really cool like architecture style buildings and builds here. We've got contemporary vernacular and a sci-fi structure.
And that goes into this Italian fishing village. So kind of an expansion almost of the Lego set that we got. I love to see all of this Italian architecture here and just the streets kind of busy with people, the little fountains in there, people in the windows and balconies. So it feels very alive.
Yeah, very alive. I love some of the roofing techniques they've used here. And obviously the watercraft they have down here are very well designed, and the greebling around the landscape is also very well done.
And then Sakaroon Desert. So this is Star Wars here. It looks like with these different kind of desert-inspired vignettes, and then a bunch of vehicles and some smaller boats and statues. Really nice landscaping work here. Circle around to the back, and this looks like this is Rebel Camp on Janu, so battle happening.
Yeah, again, some super great landscape. I love the kind of interior there with the snow speeder, the turrets and all the action taking place here. Absolutely love the landscape, especially the rock work up towards the top there is very, very well done.
Over here is some more Star Wars, Battle of Camino, and an outpost and a keep, and then some small medieval scenes, Andor craft. And that brings us over to Rebel Lug then, which always tons of impressive builds in the Rebel Lug display. We'll start with apocalyptic Amsterdam, so all the buildings run over, the canals being grown over.
Yeah, incredible work here, the foliage work against these buildings, but even just the textile they were able to get in the road here is also just incredibly done. The buildings built at an angle, the facades of the building at an angle. Absolutely love that. Into some smaller builds for some national park.
And a Modulex park there with the tiny Modulex bricks.
So super cool there. We've got the Sandy City and the courthouse, courtyard house, some micro builds there. The yellow brick house is very nicely done. I love the path building there.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Here's a Velociraptor dig site. So you got some, looks like kind of cowboys uncovering a Velociraptor, spider shaft, and giant spider. This is part of the Wild Imaginary West. So it's kind of sort of a steampunk type of vibe. It's part of this large scale build here, which is really cool. So you've got the winterscape and that large kind of walker on top, and then the cozy fire cabin down here below. So I like the feel of this build a lot.
Yeah, and I love the landscape as well. He's got a lot of the snot building for these kind of layers of snow, and these two-legged goat-esque creatures here that are creeping up on the big mech there. And the landscape here around this kind of cave entrance is very nice as well, with appears to be a dinosaur head of some kind peeking out there. Very nicely done.
Get into some great spacecraft and walkers and mechs. There's a star shuttle up top, and then here's kind of the blood moon, astral vortex next to that, the black swallowtail caterpillar up above that, which looks like some kind of spaceship at first, but is actually a nice caterpillar.
Yeah, it looks like it's using inside-out tires on the inside. It's hard to tell there for the kind of between the rings there. Lots of really cool parts uses and very fun colors there.
Haunted Mansion Book Nook, so that's really cool. And then Wasteland Vault Discovery. Looks like there is a green button. Let's press it, see what happens.
Let me not crush the stanchions. Turn some lights on
Will
there.
the vault door move? Oh, very,
Nice.
very cool.
That is very cool. So you got the siren in there too. Got a whole interior and a zombie coming out. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very fun. I love the interactivity there. Green pastures in the lodge. And then you get the cave painting up top with the Duplo, and then on the hunt, so it's like Duplo cavemen.
Yeah, very, very cool. You got the Galador invasion up there as well. And then this very nice lodge down here also. I love the greebling in the walls of this. These kind of very long, kind of elongated windows on the front there as well.
And here we've got a kind of looks like Japanese-inspired build with some great rock work. And then this fantastic-looking lobster dinner, some more spacecraft next to that. And over here is overgrown ruins. And if you look through the ruins, you get a fantastic shot of shirtless Woody in the background.
Shirtless Woody will be a timeless classic. that build will show up at every show from now until the end of time. You've got the Quiet Abbey Church up there, very nicely done build. Love the landscape surrounding that, as well as the great tree next to that, and then the lookout below pirate build down here at the bottom.
And here's the Polygon and Ashtown Burials. So it looks like maybe based on a book series or something here, some of these builds. And then here's Merry and Pippin Find the Food Stash, the Azure Temple, Lake House, and then just something stirs in the swamp, and this living on the water is just so peaceful and calm. I love the feeling there.
Yeah, and I like that they've put it on the white base to really kind of accentuate the lighter blue that they've used for the water, but also the amount of different elements they've used to create kind of the greenery around the docks there. It's very, and the old kind of cabinet doors used for all the roofing, also very nice touch.
And then Eli Wilsey did all of these small scenes up here, the little tiny happy cruise, and there's just so many fun details to pick out in there.
Yeah, lots of super fun different characters and builds going on there. Very nice.
And heading down the final side of the Rebel Lug display, here is a cozy little coffee shop. And it looks like they use like little tiny string pieces to create the effect of words on the coffee sign.
I think it's the Lego rubber bands
in
the grill tiles is what they use. At least the coffee sign. The lines underneath of it, I'm not sure, but the coffee sign, I believe, is the grill tiles with the rubber bands. A great sand blue TIE fighter behind that as well.
And the calm before the storm with that striking kind of bright yellow or orange effect is really nice. Your Admiral of the Trench, and then you got some golf, and looks like just a tree build, and Robin Hood's Last Heist. Very, very fun scene there with the gold being sent out the window of the castle. Hollow Knight, Infected Crossroads. Great detailing on that build.
Yeah, I love the amount of snot building they've used to incorporate all these kind of trans orange pieces here. Again, great lighting and the kind of depth that they've been able to create with this kind of big kind of style archway build. What appears to be almost like down a well potentially or something there through the kind of that middle avenue area. Very nicely done into the Palace of Lenorian, I believe. Super great build. I love the shaping of those towers, as well as kind of the use of the old spoked wheel to kind of create that big, like almost like sun stone piece there in the center. It's great.
And little Starseeker speeders with super fun detailed bases, and then a lavender field with that nice kind of rock cobblestone effect on the building. And here's a autumn cabin. So once again, a nice kind of peaceful water scene with the fall leaves and a rustic barn there. Really iconic red barn design. Hercules fighting the Hydra down below, then Solaris and some botanicals next to that. So that finishes out the Rebel Lug section for us, and we'll head over here to this display. And I think this display actually has sound and lights that sync together, so it tells the story of the Egyptian plagues from the Bible. So it's the story of Moses and all of the Egyptian plagues here at kind of different scales and things. Like you've got the giant head of this character built over here. And then I think the sound and the lights kind of sync as the story is told.
Yeah, very, very cool builds here. I always love kind of the individual builds that come together to create this more story-esque thing. I also like that they've gone for a more triangular.
Yes.
Obviously, you see a lot of square, but then people have kind of ventured into doing more rounded builds. And now that we have kind of some of the more wedge tiles and things like that, people are starting to play a lot more with triangles. And it's really cool to see kind of built into this collab here.
Fantastic work there. And moving out down around the edge here, it's got America the Beautiful, 250 years. So it looks like we've got kind of a bit of a timeline woven throughout here, and then different parts of the country represented.
Like each country's got its own, or each state has its own. You got Hershey Park there. You've got the St. Louis Arch.
Yes,
I was
absolutely.
right. Got the space station now down there for Florida, and you got Honor the Brave, some from Armed Forces stuff here as well. Into some cool micro-scale castles.
I love that tiny Neuschwanstein and Swallow's Nest Castle. That little tiny Arctic build, jungle and mountains, so kind of built within the rock. That's a really fun designs. And then colorful series here. So Safari with just kind of this sunset bathing the rock and even reflecting into the water.
Yeah, I love the colors in the water is great. I also like the use of the new kind of wedged curved slope there to kind of get the breeze and the grass going there, and obviously all the different animals as well.
And then flowers in frame here, and Dreams Village. So this is inspired by the Dreams line. You don't see a lot of custom mocks inspired by Dreams.
Certainly not. I think some of those figures that came out of that line are definitely really cool. I love that they've got what appears to be kind of like a mirror built into this door here in the back, almost like Monsters Inc.-esque, like coming in and out of your dreams. But some really, really cool, again, like the non-linear display, everything's set up on the table rather than its own base plate. It's very cool.
Yeah. And we've got some baby builds here. So this is a baby sign, and it looks like it can actually be turned there. And then baby escape from the bottle in a little high chair. So those are super fun. And then it says Jimmy and his sheep, which he thought was a goat. So whatever that is happening there. Little camera and racetrack. I like this little ferry. It's super neat. And then Eli Wilsey sobbing because we built more than he did. So sometimes just got to go for it.
It'd be like that sometimes. It's some skill issue. You've got some brick puzzles going on there. Got the lock and key, some steampunk builds there.
Looks like there are Clue type cards kind of tied into all of these builds here, so it's almost some kind of a card game kind of tied in with these.
Yeah, and these are all built, or at least, well, not all of them, but some of these were built by Hanlon, some by Caden and Geneva, so some very incredibly talented builders here. I love this Geneva's Kingdom rotating castle here. Very nice micro scale build there.
Yes. Very, very impressive. And then the different scales of the pirates here with the pirate keychain is really fun. And then some adventure type vibes, the adventures bookends. And then finally the Mina Cantina. Really fantastic stuff there. Okay, I think we are getting close to finishing this first half of the show out. So we'll start with this Batman display. And it's got all of the different Batman minifigs above the skyline with the Batmobile in front. And then climbing to the guest stars and little bat wings in here, Batman on the move. And then a really nice Christmas gingerbread layout.
Yeah, the Super Plum Valley, the sweetest stories start here apparently. So you've got lots of great detail going on here. You've got the mushroom houses on the right there. You've got the great ice skating rink. All kinds of different shops and stuff lining the back there. And even the great custom sign for the Sugar Plum Valley back there. Very nice.
And then we've got Peanuts here at the Brickhead style builds. And looks like we've got some from the Women's Brick Initiative builds here, and then Tips and Bricks website. And Then we've got Super Mario Habitat Stack, the tiny little Super Mario characters, and then 8-bit characters of Bowser and Mario and Luigi. Got a kangaroo, a lion, and a zebra, and then Galactic Ferris wheel. It's not moving right now, but some really nice automaton type builds too.
Yeah, I love the silly goose or the webbed wiggle there. The Peter Griffin with his holding his knee there, as well as the hammerhead shark is probably my favorite one of the punny style ones.
Giant hammer on front. Hopper's Arrival, a Bug's Life, and then got Courage the Cowardly Dog, 1920 Indy 500 winning car. Now this is pod racing with the classic old iPod. I've not seen one of those in a very long time.
No, that's like the old school iPod too, but a very fun play on words there. I love the use of the P-pods there as well for the other racer.
Getting lumberjacked and then sharing is caring with the raccoon and the ice cream cone. And we're all trying to find the guy who did this with the Wienermobile crashed into the side of the building. Then Master Chief. And very fun designs in here. Happy plants.
Got the urinal out of order on the chessboard there. The bishop in distress. You can't move to that piece. Unfortunate for him. The Patrick Star with the goofy goober boots there into the Nutcracker scene here. Very nice movement. Cool play. I love the character usage here as well.
And then Glowing Water Lilies, so by Bethany Wright, who built really impressive moving pieces. So got her black light on the water lilies. Then Glowna Lisa, using those glowing elements. Snooping Woodstock and the Wiggle Worm. Bears Gone Fishing. And the Minion Museum Mayhem is super fun. Craggle and all sorts of fun details.
Yeah, lots of different things going on here. They got the bone, the getting flown around by the Kraken up here, dealing with the Anubis, and even playing around with the solar system as well. Lots of really fun details there. They get into the bank transport there at the bottom. Very fun display.
And even more of her builds here represented. So just all these different moving details. This is great here. The A Falls Dilemma building versus adulting with the clock and the modular building in its hand. Muppets in space. And then Mario stuff and the Lonely Prospector.
Yeah, definitely some really cool build. I love, again, motion, great additive to most builds. I love how much different things they're able to add with even just like the slightest motors.
And Huntrix from K-Pop Demon Hunters. And then Brick Vengers. Can you name all of them? And some Bionicle builds. Pokemon Lenticular Mosaics. And a bunch of collections of different like Marvel, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, DC. Looks like Jurassic World minifigs in there. So I think that finishes out this half of the tour for us here. So that covers this side of the room. There is some at the very front of the room we want to make sure we don't miss here. So we'll check this out and make sure that we didn't miss anything along the way. So you can see all of the vendors as we walk down here, like the massive It's a Block Party booth. So one of the highlights of coming to shows is definitely being able to check out all of the vendors. We can end with this display right here. So we'll check this out and start with Mr. Rogers, To the Neighborhood of Make Believe. And we've got Won't You Be My Neighbor, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, all the different iconic Mr. Rogers elements included in there. Animal Crossing and Fabuland mixing, so I know those are two themes that a lot of people have stuck together. And The Wizard Will See You Now, so it's Wizard of Oz. Container Mayhem, with just scenes from the Muppets, I think, in a lot of these.
And a lot of it is Muppets, and they've got moon landing in here. They've got some farming and agriculture with the alien invasion here, some Lego Movie, Lone Ranger. It's kind of to the theme of the container, and then we come around into some great big grocery bits. So the things you always snap in half off your bread bags. Some very fun mega motel key, and then for your big appetite there.
Yes, and 1900s fun and games, 3D glasses, dominoes, Tic Tacs, PlayStation, a giant clothespin, and different MTV logos, stamp and ink pad. And then you've got Iceman once again with Caleb Williams there with the Chicago skyline behind him, Drake May, and then the Sephora store, the Comedy Club, Close Encounters of the Third Kind with the big UFO, the ET flying over the moon in the background, and then some pod racing.
So you got Chainsaw Man's pod racer, you got the Peely from Fortnite, as well as Wolverine. We'll see the kind of take on the classic idea from Star Wars. Chainsaw Man poster. You've got the Appa back there from Avatar. Some Cyberpunk 2077 builds there. This appears to be a collection of smaller kind of vignette-style Cyberpunk builds there. Really nice parseaches and minifigures there.
Yeah, fantastic Cyberpunk builds. And then here we've got a nice rotating Arc Raiders elevator escape. So I think this is from the very, very popular Arc Raiders video game. I've never played this myself, but I know it's been very popular recently, and I love to see that kind of 360 view of it.
Yeah, I love the action he's got in here, kind of the arcing missile from the mech on the far side there with the massive explosion, and all these like little drones and things flying around here. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. And then Henry's Mansion next to that. So I think that will finish out this first half of the tour. Thank you to everyone who has stuck with us this long. It's been a solid couple hours, I think, at least now. And we will be back tomorrow where we'll finish recording the rest of the tour and show you as much as we possibly can here at Brickworld Chicago. So great work, Caden. I'm sure you'll have lots of energy. Your voice never falters in these videos.
Never. There's zero proof of that happening, not one time.
We'll come back and finish the rest of the tour tomorrow. We are back for part 2 of the tour now, and we are in the smaller of the 2 rooms here at Brickworld. So they've recently, in recent years, moved out to this room just because there's so much stuff they're trying to pack in. And this year, there's really just 2 giant layouts in here. So it's the LGMS train display and then the Great Ball contraption over there. So we'll start walking around the train display. The Great Ball contraption isn't running right now, so we won't spend too long there. But right off the bat, we've got the Emerald City Express. So the Wizard of Oz train from Wicked, which is really cool. I don't think I've seen this one before, but obviously Wicked has been very popular.
Yeah, definitely like the steampunk vibe with the green and the gold there. Moving into some great landscape. Always love to see the variations of different trees on this landscape, especially. Got the woodworking village and the Domino Sugar locomotive there.
Mm-hmm. And then, yes, the really impressive tree displays, and then there's going to be endless trains. So as we walk around here, the train cars are incredible, and they're just endless in the variety that they have on display here. I mean, you look at the middle section right now, this is it's just row after row of train designs. So it's kind of overwhelming as you walk around, but really impressive.
I think endless might be an understatement. But again, like you've got this great foliage. We've got some very nice pink and white trees here in front of the Crescent Falls train station. Before we come to the first of several bridges that cross over the exhibitors' entry points. Super cool to see these kind of functional truss bridges that allow them to get in and out of the display, but are still functional for the trains.
And here we have a mashup. It looks like a Minecraft with trains. So the train briefly moves into Minecraft mode, which is a fun idea. So I don't think I've seen that before, but that's a neat kind of way to mix up the train display and design. We've got the corn, tons of big fields of corn. Really makes my heart happy here to see that. Looking fantastic. And then we move into this really nice kind of fall design. So the trees packed with leaves here.
Yeah, absolutely love the landscaping here, the amount of different leaf colors as well. Before we move into something up in my wheelhouse, you've got some flatbeds with some military trucks. Very small scale here, which is really nice. I love the amount of detail they've been able to pack into the Humvees and things before we move over into this kind of airport section with what appear to be some Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so combining up some of the military stuff here with the train layout, nice kind of hangar in there. Moving back into a city section with a nice sloped road. And then we kind of jump across the display. This is Reed Yeager's Hope Castle. So mainstay of Brickworld for many, many years. Kind of using portals and mixing things in and out. There's always tons of stuff happening with his castle display here. It's always fun to see. Checking out more train tracks. Going down this direction, we've got Walter's Manufacturing Company, and then some really nice kind of train station designs here. I love the architecture on these buildings.
Yeah, love the shaping on the building as well, especially the kind of cantilever roofs out on the sides there. And then we have another of a slinky car there, and then into one of the kind of lower waterway tables here. Again, another one of these bridges into a really cool tunnel. And then we kind of round into this very large, dark orange, medium nougat building here. Very colorful. Fall, all the leaves have come off the trees here in the courtyard around the train track there.
And kind of finishing out close to the end of the display is some of these larger buildings. You can actually, the trains go underneath them here, which is a neat design. Got big lineups of minifigs for, it looks like the Pepsi machine. And then this Chicago Northwestern train, the color scheme on that is really, really great. To a large field of cows. You've got to have your cows and your cattle here in the train display. Checking out this shot down the line there is really fantastic with all the trains in the background there. Look fantastic. So that kind of finishes out the train display as we come to, looks like we've got like a steam shovel here at the very end. So like we said, this is the LGMS display, and then we've got Great Ball Contraption over here. So this isn't running right now, but the Great Ball Contraption displays are always incredible and always a crowd favorite. So the public definitely spends a lot of time checking all this out. Always looks great. We'll hop on over to the bigger convention hall and start back in there then. We are back in the main hall now, and starting off with this incredible Christmas tree design where there's different trains, several levels here, Christmas villages, lights, tons of stuff happening here.
Yeah, considering I have zero space at my house for my own winter village, this is a great way to kind of use all of those sets in a very creative verticality type of way. I love all the lights included here as well.
And we'll circle this direction and actually stick with the Christmas theme with this crazy like Christmas AT-AT Hoth type of combo going on, and the lights are very intense here. World of Lights is going to be real crazy over here.
Yeah, and it looks like Rudolph up front has the Lego Crocs on in the engine gingerbread format. But seen this build at a couple other shows, and it's always great, especially when the lights are off.
Then there's the Walmart Spark logo and Jersey Jack pinball. And that takes us to kind of a Ninjago type display with all of the different types represented here. And then a little like D&D castle. And back to more trains. This is, one does not simply ride a train into Mordor. Oh, it's all Lord of the Rings themed. I didn't even notice that at first. So it kind of goes through some of the different Lord of the Rings areas. So that's very fun.
Yeah, I love that they've kind of taken the color schemes from both Barad-dûr and Rivendell and played it into the train there. And then we've got the popular restaurants, so Culver's, Portillo's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, obviously some staples of the American culture nowadays,
Yes.
into the Wild West.
Yeah, some really nice Wild West displays this year. So this is kind of a more modern one, kind of looks like almost like a Moab type vibe, going jeeping and that kind of thing. That's very fun. Here's some more Wild West here. The gunfight happening in the middle of the town. And then we've got this really great skyscraper here, just very unique architecture. Again, great lighting, lots of great lighting all around here. Jump across and show these builds. This is, it's I think Meme World. So it's all sorts of memes built out of Lego here. So great to see that represented. You got to have something for the kids.
For sure. Some of these definitely hit home. The Nyan Cat for sure. Some very interesting build. You got 6-7, obviously today's craze.
And then we'll jump back across here to these displays. So this guy right here is fantastic. This is Classic Mech of Ages, and it's a whole bunch of classic Lego themes turned into one giant pirate mech.
I can almost guarantee you 80% of this came out before I was born. But nonetheless, looks pretty cool. We've got some of the bigger old like castle archway type pieces. Lots of really nice parts used. We've got the cockpits and the big tires as well. Just love what they've able to cap. They got the monorail trail.
Right. The monorail arm holding the monorail track is fantastic. So this is a really, really fun build. Love that. Lady Gaga album cover. And then Space and Voyage of the Dawn Treader here from Narnia. And then the Harbor Watch, the Forest. And looks like kind of a space type display, maybe some town mixed in. Pirates here, like attacking the fortress. We've got the Great Hall from Harry Potter, using some of those candles in there to add some nice little lighting. Then we've seen a lot of 250th anniversary of America type stuff. So here you've got some different soldiers and eras represented. U.S. soccer, with the World Cup going on while we're recording this, has been very popular. The Sunken Mermaid then with all of these pirates. Looks like rowing down there on the bottom of the ocean, maybe. Not sure how that's working. And that brings us to, let's see, it looks like maybe like a D&D fantasy type of thing.
Potentially, you get lots of colors going on here, lots of different, almost looks like squares. Maybe this is a playable something of some kind, or adventure type game. Got lots of different characters here as well.
Yeah. And really impressive colors mixed in there, lots of little details. That looks fantastic. We've got Avatar facility here from Avatar movie. And the Gloom Hands from Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. And it looks like we've got kind of a little miniature Hope Castle. And then the Goblin Twisted Tower. This thing is, how tall is this thing?
It's at least 7 feet.
At least 7 feet, thank you. Very impressive. And then you've got these scary looking creatures over here next to this crazy looking spider.
Yeah, I'm the Bomar monk. Appears to be some kind of real thing in some universe. Next to some really cool dragon mecha type creatures there. And then the Alligators Anonymous meeting.
And that finishes this section. We'll jump over here and check out this Such Great Heights. Again, the theme this year with this cheese grater, I think, going at it. That's pretty funny. And then room by room with some nice rooms there. This is one of the craziest builds here at the show. It's modular mech man. So it's built out of, I think, 13 modulars, the builder said. And just kind of, there's like a main like steel frame inside there kind of holding it all up. But it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. You've got upside down buildings, sideways buildings, mirrored buildings. I love the Palace Cinema for the head there with the motion as well as all the lighting. And all the interiors are still fully complete with figures and everything inside. Super well done.
Heading this direction to the corner, we've got a crazy M-Tron display, and there are creatures all over the place attacking this huge M-Tron research and mining rig out here. It looks like the M-Tron guys pretty strong here, so we'll see if they can survive this attack.
Yeah, I mean, half of them don't even look like they really care, and then the rest of them got the classic blasters out, all kinds of jetpacks and the massive crane there into their army builder, and then into some, looks like dirty buildster mocks there, into a really well done Kashyyyk build here. I love the custom Corporate Alliance tank droids out front here, and wonderful landscape. Love the color palette there.
That huge tree is impressive. And the Rainbow Pearl, and you've got Starship Enter Prism, so kind of rainbow builds of some of these vehicles. Some more Star Wars Army building in here. Really nicely detailed Star Wars builds here. Raid of Vader's Fist next to this one, which is Battle for Zandara, I believe. I like the way they've done the tiled landscaping is very nice.
Yeah, very clean. Love that it's very studless. Then you have a super greebled kind of droid base out here. Love the dark red mixed in there with the medium nougat. Very nicely done.
Clone Wars Episode 1, Season 1, the ambush here, right off the bat. And then an Imperial outpost. Got the C-11 Skyline here, and Battle of Megiddo, Battle for the Compound, Death Star laser tunnels. That's an interesting build, like type of Star Wars build you don't see very often.
Yeah, like they've kind of used a lot of the trans-clear spring-loaded shooter parts to get the homage of the Death Star firing there. Got an abandoned outpost from the Jedi games, as well as Admiral Thrawn's office there. Into the Separatist meeting on Geonosis. Some really nice smaller Star Wars vignettes here as we move into a life-size, maybe, violin.
Yeah. Really impressive. And then a Minecraft castle wall, ambush on Outpost Echo. And the Citadel here is huge, incredible rock work. Not a ton of minifigs, but just kind of awe-inspiring with the scale of it.
Yeah, love the shaping of the main Citadel Tower here. Certainly one of my favorite arcs from the Clone Wars. They've got all the main scenes kind of captured here. Very nicely done. I love all the lighting in this kind of trans-yellow basin down at the bottom. But certainly some of my favorite episodes from the show.
And we'll come this direction next. Go ahead and hit up this square. So we start off with I believe this is Clash Royale, so the mobile game, which I think there's multiple of these builds here at the show. These do move when it's all set up and running, but I love the character builds on top of the towers.
Yeah, some great character builds, like you said. Very much larger of a scale than the one we saw and talked about a little bit yesterday. They've got the minifigures in the crowd back towards the rear there, but they've got all the towers and different units out battling it out on the field.
And then some cars here with Wally mosaic in the background, and just really fantastic vehicle designs. And then the first says our first family home at minifigure scale, so it's really neat to see someone build something just kind of like a very personal piece like that, capturing all those memories from the family home. Next to several more vehicles, the Jeep Wrangler. Jump across the divide here over to this side, and you've got Spider-Man train. A lot of Spider-Man builds this year next to Back to the Future there, and then a bunch of, I think, Star Wars mosaics.
Yeah, so Andor coming out with Season 2, I guess, last year, definitely was up there for Star Wars content, so some great kind of Star Wars art depictions, and they've got the similar ones they've done in the same style for a lot of other characters from the show down below there.
Big Fig Star Wars characters, and then Brickworld.net ATST, and the B-Wing Starfighter, and then the speeder bike, and Resistance Troop Transport. So that will finish this section out, and we'll go ahead and bounce over here and hit up these mosaics. Are you enjoying the show, sir?
Absolutely. Good to see you beyond the break. Woo!
We've got some animals. I think these are all dogs represented in these mosaics.
Yeah, it looks like it. Great. There's a lot of mosaics too at the show. You've got different breeds here. Love the kind of dot style of all of this. Got some crazy DJ something happening here.
Coffee break dance with the DJ, the coffee cups DJing, and keeping the energy going. And then Star Wars mixed in all throughout. Almost every series of tables seems like has Star Wars in here. Then Lego Indiana Jones Original Adventures, Barnet College. So I don't know if this is based on the Lego Indiana Jones game or something else, but I like all the different rooms.
I think I would venture to guess it is. They've got the character customization over here with all the random parts going on there. But I know we saw something similar to this some years ago with the Lego Star Wars game. So seeing that with paying homage to the Indiana Jones games is great as well. Into this old-timey, I don't remember the name of that theme, but he's got an entire army up here of this kind of underwater display here.
And then looks like just kind of like a quilt. So it's like a Lego quilt idea with a bunch of different tiles connected together to make the quilt. Here's a city and kind of an old fortress up on the cliff, the village of Lenmark. So you've got the nice Lego logo built into the floor there. And then some elves type creations with some really nice colors. The elves colors always really pop and stand out. More really fantastic botanicals. You see a lot of people using this head design.
Yeah, using the Lego head storage container as their flower pots here. Some even filled with those lime green elements that are found. Even the Lego bags for these kind of bouquet style. Using all the Lego products, not just the bricks. Into some really nice smaller builds here. We've got the Wall of Faces as well as the Eagle 5 Winnebago from Spaceballs up top there. The Bride and Groom and the Gingerbread King and Queen down here into Sylvester the Cat.
Yeah. And then Rocking Anger from Inside Out, and Whispers in Gingerbread Woods, the Cottage of Temptation. And then this massive build, one of the largest builds here at the show this year. This was a Indie Lug collaborative build. I think this was facilitated as like an official Lego project where they got some project support for this. And this, of course, is the Destiny's Bounty from Ninjago.
Yeah, incredible build here. I love the custom sails that they've got, even brand new with Indie Lug there, but the super clean deck, and they've even got like the kind of the bigger figs representing all four of the original ninjas, and the Nia's mech there as well. Very, very well done.
Yes, this huge mech and the face on the front of the boat is really cool. We've got the silver chrome anchors down at the side. Then we get into some smaller scenes. So we got just kind of a living room there, and then it's what the pilgrims did with a big feast happening. Subway and Indiana Icon covered bridge. There we go. I have been to some covered bridges. I'm not sure if I've been to that one. I can't say I've seen every covered bridge in the state, sadly. Someday. Some really beautiful bonsai trees here. And then, this one with the digital koi fish.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess that's probably why they have this canopy up so you can see that during the public hours. But I love the kind of angularity of this tree on the front left as well. Very, very clean display. And like you said, that koi fish display underneath is very interesting to look at for sure.
And over here is, I think, a large parade, it looks like, or just like a beach area maybe. So it's got all the food trucks and everything, food stalls. It's the Bricksville Vendor Fair, so that's what it is. Then it's Bricksville Gardens. So I love the tulips here. There's a bit of a maze and a large fountain area. The flowers look really, really beautiful in that display. Then it's Planet's Fitness and Saturn Sporting Goods, different take on some iconic establishments.
Got the Galactic Mall. I love the inclusion of the rock wall there in the center. All your REI and sporting goods needs with all the tents and everything hanging up from the ceiling that you can never reach. Into a Native American build, actually. So we've got the river flowing through kind of the village there. We've got the teepee represented in the back there. The big bonfire happening in the middle with some nice rock work in the backdrop there.
Yes. And we'll go ahead and jump across to this display, starting with Star Wars Planet Tall modular buildings. So this is a kind of atypical Star Wars build.
Yeah, it's like not very, very deep, but you have a lot of detail here on the front and even some like the walkways. You've got what appears to be some kind of drilling rig in the back there. Lots of great figure usage, kind of the more underworld aesthetic there. Got the Imperial Recon Patrol up top there as well. Into some funny Star Wars builds here. You've got Big Bird as an X-Wing pilot. You've got the Chewbacca Cookie Monster, and then, what's his name?
R2 the Grouch.
R2 the Grouch. There we go.
Some more Zelda builds next to that. So you've got Link's house, and then one of the ancient shrines here. Then you've got a bunch of different battles represented and some of the villains and creatures from Zelda games over the years. And that takes us to the Galactic Rangers Hyperion and a bunch of kind of smaller scale mechs and Royal Guards, Benny's Galaxy Explorer. And then this is the Cosmic Sloth here. Just really unique creature design, looks really nice. And it looks like some remote controlled creatures. And then this guy shooting out the laser.
Yeah, the Cyanus there with very nice. I love the sand blue and the gold there with this kind of trans purple or trans dark pink there for the kind of energy blast coming from it. Into some other cool best mecha build nominations down there for, I love the orange inclusion there. It's very nice.
And we've got a small little stop next coming up here with the modular buildings. So this is just kind of a whole city that I think a lot of this is kind of a seek and find where there's kind of endless things to discover in here. What's the first thing that stands out to you?
Probably Hulk holding some ice cream down there in the center. Obviously lots of very fun minifigures with all the animal CMFs and such there. It's got some brick-built birds up top there. What do you notice first?
Yes, I like this furniture that's being moved because I feel like something real bad is about to happen there. Anytime there's like furniture in the street, something's about to get destroyed, so I think that's going to be pretty funny. Then these are builds based on, I think, various U.S. states. So there's Georgia. You've got kind of golf represented with the world of Coke. And this is, it says like Celebrate USA here. This is Wyoming. So it's different states represented, kind of iconic things. You've got more of Wyoming in here than Washington State. And finally, we've got Indianapolis making an appearance with the IU natatorium, so the iconic pool where a lot of swimming competitions have been held. Over here, this is one of my favorite kind of micro-scale, small-scale displays at the show, and this is iconic Lord of the Rings scenes built at, I guess you'd call it baby scale.
Yeah, baby scale. I like the fact they're still using like the big hair pieces and the wizard hat for Gandalf there, but the use of droid arms there is very nice. And then love the use of the sand blue to create the Mines of Moria entrance there. But a very interesting scale to see Lord of the Rings sets there at. You got the Int, as well as the Fell Beast over the Pelennor Fields, as well as Mount Doom there.
Yeah, I just think that's such a fun scale to build in. So great work to all the builders involved there. This is called Searching, so a bunch of tiny, speaking of micro scale, this is really, really tiny. Here's Argo and the Clashing Rocks. I love that ship design and just the way that all the minifigs are posed at the oars. Settlers of Catan, fantastic board game. Seeing Lego versions of this is always fun because builders always kind of approach it in slightly different ways, so it's fun to see how those come together. Then a modular building with a bunch of different vehicles, big variety of Ghostbusters and buses, U-Hauls, all sorts of stuff. And that moves us into Among Us. Were you an Among Us player?
Very much so.
Okay.
I was the detective that everyone hated because I got really, really good at determining who was over here killing everybody. So some really nice homage to that game there. Definitely fallen a little out of popularity, but some other really nice kind of character builds and even some botanicals up top there as well. And then some more classic cars there down to the right.
Yes, yeah, this really great scale here. Some Mad Max vehicles, Pontiac Bloat. You've got a 1997 Transport and all sorts of fun vehicles. And this guy, the Guardian Omitter. Very fun designs. You got this great big tower. This is Choose Your Adventure Dice Tower. So kind of a D&D type idea. We've seen D&Ds just become more and more popular. These types of similar ideas to that.
It looks like with the slopes at the bottom that you can actually roll the dice down through the tower. Which looks interesting, and based on the fact that there's no stanchion here, it looks like this to be playable by the public during the public hours. So another cool interactive display. We've seen many so far on the tour, but certainly something that's become a lot more popular in recent years here at these big shows.
And then you can see a book of inspiration for some of the creatures that are on display out here. Next to that is New Achievement. Looks like from Dungeon Crawler Carl. And then Operation Bounce House. Looks like there's some guys that are not going to end well happening right there. And the Great Muppet Forge. So there's a bunch of lava inside there. That's a pretty cool build. Attack on Titan's Tower. And then, let's see, what it looks just like kind of a classic space, but in a very unique way.
Yeah, I love kind of the craggled rock, and they've used the completely snot technique to get a very smooth looking, almost rocky layered landscape there. As we move across into the Floors of Fate. So each floor has got a different story being told here. You've got some space, you've got some animals running loose in there, you've got another fish pond. Very, very nice details, again, very well lit as well.
Mm-hmm. And then Lego Island Hospital. So this is, I think, from the Lego Island computer games, I want to say. It looks like that era. And then the trolley problem here, the classic philosophical trolley problem built out of Lego. You can sit here and think for a while. And then Exoforce. So this is kind of a reimagining, I think, of the Exoforce theme. And one of my favorite themes from when I was younger, a fairly short-lived theme, but had so many cool vehicles and mechs and stuff. And then the iconic kind of orange bridge that they would battle over. So love to see that represented. And I think... sticking with Exoforce, we've got this huge train that looks like they're battling over here. So even more expanded universe brings us into a slightly different battle.
Yeah, so Operation Overlord and the Normandy invasion. So you've got the American forces charging up the beach here into the German fortifications up top there. To the World War I Battle of Verdun. So similar, you got German versus French here. We come into actually a collection of some military builds. We've got the urban assault, so you've got American forces moving through the town and the German troops taking positions in some of the bombed out buildings there. Into disguise, so again the kind of American forces moving through some of the tank trap areas there. You've got a bunker built into that building right there, into a German flak gun in the corner there.
Yeah, I love the disguise there, name coming from that bunker being inside the building. That's very fun. Let's see. This is something about I think car mechanical issue happening here. You can interpret that. And then we've got these crosses, so cemetery tribute. And then it looks like tribute here to all of the military and healthcare workers, law enforcement, firefighters. And then ending on a much more comical note, it's the operation, and the surgeon is asking for the pencil in order to rewind, fix the cassette tape. So that's a reference that people your age probably won't get.
Probably not. I mean, I know what a cassette tape is, but I don't know if I understand the reference 100%.
We will jump over here. Someone can explain that to Caden in the comments. And this is the Knight and the Witch, which I love the way that they've done this with those flowers kind of woven in there.
Yeah, it almost gives like an anime style vibe with kind of the floral hair draping down there, but a very great use of some of those kind of more bionicle construction parts there. Very nice into the Dark Panther and some other kind of very interesting character style mech builds here.
And Cyber Graffiti Duo, and then we've got Battle of the Void Bloom Ruins, then Cyber Garden here with those TVs kind of being overrun by nature, and Chromatic Apparitions Flower Bug, and then it looks like we've got some more Galador represented. I think we saw a little bit of that yesterday with the tiny, whatever theme that baby's from, I forget now.
Is it Scala?
I think Scala, yeah.
Scala
There you
baby.
go.
Into another one of these kind of lower displays here. You've got the plant demon here in the front, and some other cool, almost like looks like Mad Max style or fortified bus and junkyard by Stranger Things. Some very floral kind of little creatures up top here as well, and then we move into a lot of very NASA space station kind of stuff here.
Yeah, the space builds are always popular at all the LEGO shows, so it's cool to see different eras of space represented in all different rocket designs, especially the Artemis program has been getting a lot of attention, so this is neat to see these on display. Then there's Underwater Garden, a huge underwater coral section with a huge amount of sharks. Looks very, very dangerous to be swimming in these waters right now. Speaking of dangerous, it's the Dino Adventure. Looks like the dinos have definitely gotten out here, so you might be safest over here in the ice.
Yeah, I don't think this one aircraft is going to do it against all these pterodactyls, but at the same time, you've got a wonderful ice display. They're carving out a woolly mammoth back there. You've got polar bears everywhere, lots of huskies. You got your research facilities here. Absolutely love this theme. Certainly one of my favorites.
And then a kind of creating a scene around the Botanical Gardens Lego set, and just kind of a really nice kind of large flower botanical scene. Here's Brick Rock Arcade, tons of arcade machines in there from pinball and all the iconic ones, and a claw machine with a change machine on the left side there. Even the employees only door really sets the scene, and that kind of glowing carpet.
Yeah, that was my eyes immediately went to the floor. The use of the different kind of new curved and angled pieces. That floor immediately took me back to like Dave & Buster's roller rink style places. Absolutely love that there.
Here's Nursery Log, fostering future flora. So it looks like they're growing plants inside kind of the decayed old log. And then a huge high terrace tower hotel, street corner, and a pirate display. We haven't seen a lot of kind of larger scale pirate layouts, but we've got kind of the different pirate ships and fortresses represented, including the little pirate islands.
Yeah, I love the way that the skull kind of shaped the face there on the pirate cove. There's kind of very separated. You got pirates one side and the Imperials on the other side. To a very nice large scale 3D printed Lego skeleton who's certainly having his fun during the public hours. He's got the cannon in his bottle there. Into some great micro scale military ships here.
Yeah, this is the USS Texas out front, and then the USS Montana in the back, and you can see their guns ablazing here, firing away. They've got their seaplanes that they're picking up, so really impressive level of detailing here at this scale. So these are super cool. I love the historic ships. Here is a game of pool, and it looks like they've got the minifigs marked as the balls, which is a unique way to lay that out. A Bill Cipher in the back, and then a massive B-52H Stratofortress.
Yeah, some bigger scale stuff here. You got the Willys Jeep and then the massive bomber there, the Stratofortress there. You've got even some other older Air Force style craft there. Very nice into a massive, I believe this is the Orc Fortress, the cave fortress here. Incredible rock work out front. You've got kind of this medieval village happening out here, and I believe it has an interior as well.
Yes, there is a whole interior. I think the lights are off right now, so it's harder to see it, but we have a more in-depth video where we show off a lot of this, and the lights really make this pop, and it's very fun to kind of dive into all the details, and the cave sections open up and everything, so that's very cool. We will head on over this direction. We'll keep moving down the aisle here, and we have World of Lights tonight, so we have to make sure we wrap up before they turn the lights off on us tonight. So that's what our goal is here. So this is the North Quad from University somewhere. UIUC. There we go. I think Illinois, somewhere in Illinois. We'll go with that. And then this is, let's see, Woohoo Island, Wii Sports Resort. So you don't see a lot of Wii Sports content.
I don't think I would have known what the map looked like prior to seeing this, but I love the shaping and the rock work there, and even using kind of the medium blue tones to create that very smooth waterfall, very studless look there.
And then a space highway, and I think just kind of various buildings in the background. Gotham City and Metropolis, and Troy Harbor robots. So built on wheels, it looks like. That's a unique design. Got some thrones here, and kind of album cover art, a brownstone and 2 flat. It's from Chicago, New York City. Oh, this guy's super cool, the Cyberpunk Ronin.
Yeah, I love the kind of poncho cloth piece there, the massive sword, kind of the more like polygonal style shaping to his torso and body there, and even the piston spring there for kind of his central core. And there's some very interesting smaller builds here. You've got the tall neck in the back, the Valhalla from First Light, and then a lobster.
There you go. And a can of Arizona green tea. I'm not sure if that goes with a build, but it's looking nice. And then these tiny little like Duplo figures, the McDonald's logo looking great back there. And some underwater creatures here. And then this bird is really fantastic with the flower, the Frosted Valley Viper, and that pink using like frosted sprinkled donut tiles is great. And then iconic falling water design here. The Edmund Fitzgerald, which appears to be on the bottom of the ocean at that point in time. And just lots of fun little micro details in here.
Yeah, all kinds of different like stories here, characters, vehicles. You've even got the folding wallet in the back there with a hidden dollar. You've got the Wright Flyers and the Red Baron. Some very kind of iconic moments in history. Some album covers up front here as well. Classic space logos and some micro tabletop games here in the corner.
Sticking with Micro City here, we've got some large skyscrapers inside this display. Then the Ninjago battle for the Life Blade. And over here to more Blacktron. It looks like a ship has crash landed, and the Blacktron folks are attacking. Then we've got the Kingsman briefcase. So this is really cool because it's a build built into a briefcase.
Yeah, love this build. I think Salty Bros did a build together of this at Brick Fair many years back. And this one, built by Carter, has been a mainstay. It's very, very well done. Love the fact that he's used that kind of old-timey briefcase as a border for the build.
This is 21 Pilots album cover. So album art is kind of something that's mixed in all throughout the show. Here's a portal and then a Fallout mini shelter. You've got a vault door from Fallout, Mr. Handy Robot, Metal Gear Salad, and Trick or Treat Street. Then these are actually moving builds that are normally turned on when the public's here. Horror movie lovers and Swedish Chef's Popcorn Kitchen. And that takes us into Half-Life 2 Resistance Crossbow. And having a weapon here from video game is a great time to come over and check out this incredible video game inspired display. So we've got a couple display areas of Halo. So we have a video that will go through this entire display. There's endless details to pick out here.
Yeah, the massive new Alexandria collab from, I believe it's Halo Reach.
Yes.
Incredible Halo builds of like something that has sticked around in its ambiguity over the years. There's a very dedicated group of builders who like to keep this franchise alive, and they always come out with absolutely incredible builds. Obviously the lights are not on right now, but there's lights and explosions running all throughout this build on every level. Definitely up there is probably one of the best builds here at the show.
Check out the channel and we'll have an in-depth video on that for you guys. Sticking with Halo, you can see the weapons from Halo. Obviously an iconic part of the franchise is the weaponry. You've got the shock rifle here, the disruptor, this massive sniper rifle. A lot of these built by Nick Jensen and some of the other kind of iconic weapons builders that display here at Brickworld every year. Then over here on this side, you've got the assault rifle, a little active camo here, and Magnum, and then little Master Chief bust, and M7 SMG here, and finishing out with the Spartan laser and the helmet. Fantastic work there. So really, really cool collab. We'll turn around to Orphan Lug now in this huge yellow castle.
Yeah, very yellow castle. This kind of mushroom defensive inspired. They've got all kinds of mushroom warriors going on in there. I love the mix of the blue for the roofs there. Very bright color scheme and all the different kinds of sized mushrooms and parts outside.
We can go ahead and continue this direction. So multiple builds this year that have the smoke kind of coming out of them. I mean, the camera might have just missed it, but that green swamp area had some smoke coming out. There you go. And you've got this big orca mech. So it's got the orca whale head there as it's exploring. And then we got the Victrola with more album covers in here. And then got Cadillac logo. Looks like a red-tailed hawk. Looks fantastic. Then I think we've got Harry Potter.
Yeah, we've got Dumbledore's Firestorm charm here, so he's casting his spell there. I love the kind of posability of the character here, and really just kind of the arc of him casting that behind him, elevated up above into the WMS construct back there. Very large, kind of yellow, almost like bumblebee-looking style mech with the little caulk gun in the corner back there behind it.
This stained glass window, stained glass Gengar, it's called. So really great design there. Jumping across to Luce, and then Santa's chief technical officer, looking like he was having a tough time. And this really fantastic lunch break with just the keys and the phone set beside the food.
Yeah, I love this kind of usage of parts. They've even used the outer pieces of what appears to be the big leaf stem sprues. So not actually using the leaf part, but the rest of the sprue itself for kind of the tossed lettuce there. Into all your strong bads belong to us.
I think this is a Homestar Runner, maybe collab here. I could not tell you anything about Homestar Runner, so someone in the comments can enlighten us on these builds. I will say they're very, very unique. The style of them, the look of them is certainly very different, so I think definitely kind of a whimsical feel, especially built out of the Lego bricks here. So it is fun to see these. Here's a text-based adventure strong bad email is what this is called here. So I'm lost on the reference material, but great work with the way that these are designed. Yearning Liberty, really nice color palette in there. This is nominated for Best Sea Vessel, the Tidal Explorer. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I love it's almost like fish-esque with the fins there and the use of kind of those bubble pieces for the cockpits into some very nice smaller character style builds here. You've got the Paladin, the Geomancer, the Griffin. They all appear to be kind of different factions. The Prince, the Barmaid, and you even got the Heist here at the end in front of the big Stuart Charles V8 six-wheeler. Very nice looking shaped vehicle there.
And then a flying airship. This is Treasure Planet RLS Legacy. Really nice stand and just a very nice display piece there. You could definitely imagine that on display. International Space Station. So this is a mock that we've covered at another show, and then the builder built himself with his build depicting. So very like meta scene here as he's standing next to his space station there. Shout out to Doug Hughes. Really, really great builder. A little Fabuland. This is a crocheted Fabuland blanket. And then got some frog pod stuff here. A shout out to Cymox and his Batarang. And then Nanan Zong built fantastic Quetzalcoatl temple here, Mexican inspired with the colors and everything. Design is really great.
Yeah, I love the curvature there using the train track and then even some of like the older like curved, almost like track pieces there, as well as just the shaping of the head there into a very nice lighthouse build here as well, or two lighthouse builds in different kind of styles here. Very, very nice there.
Then Sapling. This is actually it's like flowers built around a gun. So that's a really unique kind of artistic piece. Got Furby and Nifty. And then it's like Star Fox here with some of his equipment and games. Happy Hippos at the gym. Happy Hippos the date. And then Air Penguin in the back there is very fun with that water splash underneath him. And we've got a nice little mug of matcha, and then kind of a tiny micro scale building built into that. That's really neat.
Yeah, almost like bonsai tree-esque there. You've got Karama up front here, and then the Toadette on the Toon Tumper back there, nominated for Best Pop Culture. Very nice. Into a Mega Gengar from Pokemon, and Team Rocket Meowth balloon there.
Here is more, I think this is Demon Hunters. Thank you. I was blanking on the name of that. Of course, I'm a huge fan. Definitely watched that day one when it came out. And this is a Lockheed Sirius Lindbergh plane, and then Relay Tower 7, and some kind of like skimmer type vehicles, aerocopters, some mechs here. Got Raka 99, and this Mosquito build. Really impressive designs. The Giesel library here, that architecture is really, really unique. Looks fantastic, and I love these dinos.
Yeah, Edie and Bumpy, the later years. So very, very cool Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then almost looks like a larger style, kind of almost bearded dragon here in a sense. I absolutely love the shaping they were able to get where that leg kind of connects to the body, the use of those wedge plates to really make that as seamless of a transition as possible. It's very well done.
Next to that is New Bedlam Mining Hub, and a crazy amount of, it's like Greeble the build, basically, is what this is. So it's just kind of little micro Greebles and things sticking out everywhere to make this like mining hub planet. And then a walker. The Smart Fridge with the screen on the front is a really unique design, with this surf truck looking for extraterrestrial life, and then this Twilight's Echo spaceship.
Yeah, very, very sleek, clean design here. It's apparently very sturdy. I watched him just holding this thing earlier, trying to fix something, and I was a little terrified watching him put it back on the stand. But I love this shaping up front here towards the front with all the curvature. Is very, very well done.
And to finish this section out, we've got High Wind, and this looks like it is based on something. What exactly, I don't know. There is like a inspiration shot. Oh, Final Fantasy. Thank you. There we go. So this is based on Final Fantasy, and obviously tons of movement, which catches your eye immediately. So just the scale of it and the movement is really impressive.
Yeah, all of this, the grayscale tiling here, kind of against the yellow, like these interesting kind of clear stands they have it up on as well. Very nice. And the trussing there as well.
Jumping back across to this aisle, we will start in with this kind of town. So you've got Studs Hollow, like this big building in the middle. It's really fantastic. I think that looks great. And then there's the little red barn and just a really nice variety of buildings throughout there. This build here is based on The Bear, I think the TV show. So you can see all the diners in there and the kitchen in the back.
As a chef myself, I can certainly appreciate this. It's a fantastic show for anyone who hasn't watched it, but I love the detail they've been able to get, all the equipment in the kitchen in the back, as well as the dining room up front. It's very, very well done.
Twister here with this tornado bearing down on the truck. And then we got Bad Bunny reference. We've got Milton Stapler from Office Space, some more 3D printed action here. And then Deadpool, and it looks like it's all the different like Deadpool suits here, and every imaginable version of Deadpool.
So a lot of different references happening here from probably every franchise in existence, almost kind of playing into the idea of like the Batman or Iron Man, armor walls, but instead using lots of different colored Deadpool heads and characters there.
And the Deadpool action continues over here with the concert. Then we move into Sandworm and a couple of dogs. Looks like a few different dogs here, and a griffin. And then a whole bunch of different mosaics with a balloon dog. You got Stitch, Groot, St. Louis Cardinals, and let's see, Toy Story 5, Goofy, and it looks like Disney down here at the bottom with a dog at the top. Then Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with a dinosaur appearing, and fun little tiny vignettes here.
Yeah, lots of different habitats, lots of different characters happening here. Some pop culture references, some you've got It up in the top corner there, and you've got Deadpool. Lots of different stories being told here for sure. Into some more really nice trains. We've got lots of people who also just bring trains to display how cool the trains are. Even some here with the cars open to see the interior and all the seating there as we round the corner into a massive Napoleonic style infantry on infantry, stand here, let me shoot you battle.
Yeah, and this builder I think has set up kind of similar battles in the past, and it's just really cool to see the number of minifigs that are involved with this. Looks like there's some portals here involved with a new army entering there. Then we've got a monorail with more kind of Christmas vibes here as it's riding around this city, and there's a Christmas train inside there. There's beaches, there's town, there's kind of something for everyone here in this city. The lighthouse on the side, and then gingerbread AT-AT reindeer looking very scary. We've got some little Minecraft builds in here, a Minecraft train, and lots of Minecraft characters. The Ender Kid, we've got the Spotted Wolf and the Minecraft Owl. And that takes us into I'm tired of this build.
I'm tired too. No, I love the use of the different size tires. Tires obviously have far more uses than just making cars roll around. So a very, very cool nonlinear display here into the antenna escape game. So it appears to be almost a micro maze of sorts using the antennas into some really nice larger style mosaics.
Yeah, Superman and Lois and the Muppet Show. And then Jesus, the Way, the Truth, the Life here, this very large-scale mosaic. And this build next to that, we've seen before, but it's always a funny one. Van Gogh Down by the River from Saturday Night Live, mashing up the Van Gogh set with the Down by the River SNL sketch. Just fantastic. I always love seeing this one on display. This is Where's Waldo, but found him in the cemetery, apparently. Mickey Mouse Club Sandwich. Mythbusters Lego Ball, where they built the giant ball, kind of an iconic piece of kind of Lego pop culture there. Then we've got Gotham and Pirates of the Caribbean. And that brings us back to the city. So we'll head this direction and we'll get those, I think we'll finish out at the end of the night on the far side of this half of the room. So let's go ahead and head to this corner then. We'll start making our way back towards the front. So this is Kursk 1943, the iconic tank battle.
Yeah, so another great military build on display here at the show. I love the landscaping and the use of the wedge plates for these kind of crater, foxhole-esque builds, the smaller scale vehicles. Obviously lots of great customs as well, and the great use of that brick-built lettering there.
Some small little vignettes and just kind of funnier scenes, and then the Siege of Madrid here in the lead up to World War II. Over here is Sunken City, so you've got the ship on top and then a whole city kind of underneath there with that glow of the water. Greeting from Alderaan here with the pieces flying out into space. Cyber Sub, and then Sharks versus Jets, which I think is a very funny reference there. Love that. Here's the Spotiverse, and holy monochrome Batman. It's all different Batman colors.
Love that. I'm not sure I even knew that Batman came in that many different colors. So very cool monochrome habitats there, using a very specific kind of reference there into the clutched by corals. You've got some more of the underwater, very nice parts uses. I love this kind of blue and trans yellow craft there into the President McNeil Hail to the Chief build there.
It looks like kind of a White House inspired build. Then some big cracked Technic type creations. Not a lot of Bionicle at Brickworld, but we see some Bionicle creations here. Some really nice custom stuff mixed in. Great use of these giant tread wheels here on this creature. And then, oh, this is really funny. I hadn't seen that. It's the iconic Oregon Trail death screen. You have died of dysentery, and they have it glowing just like it would pop up when you died in the game. So that's a very fun idea.
Yeah, extremely yellow. It takes you a second for your eyes to adjust there. And then we have the Scythe of Quakes from Ninjago at a massive life-size scale here with all of the pearl gold elements being held up on its ends there. As we come around the corner into a very large space mech ship type-esque thing with these huge purple cockpits up front. Mm-hmm. It's the ST-21 Love Letter. So massive rail gun on the front there. Yeah. Love that.
And then we've got the DL-06J, and it's like kind of a bird-inspired ship. Then Light Viper from Tron, a Tunnel Viper. A lot of like classic theme-inspired builds here. The Scuttlebug, Ski Scout, and then Slicer, and this little mobile work platform is really clean, fun design there. And then the Industrial Quadruped and Gnomestead with this fun little hut. And then we've got Majora's Mask cartridge with N64 controller. And the number one programmer excuse for legitimately slacking off is my code's compiling as they're battling with lightsabers.
Love that. Love the little bit of movement added there. You got all the cubicles included.
Oh, and they're battling, I just noticed in the back, with like Nerf guns as well.
Shooting through the cornholes. Got the Locust armor here. Very nice life-size helmet onto the abandoned watchtower there. into another Lord of the Rings, and we're going to get into an even bigger Lord of the Rings build here, but the Bridge of Khazad-dûm in the Mines of Moria with Gandalf facing against the Balrog there.
And then, of course, we just had the official Minas Tirith Lego set, but this is a fantastic display here with this layout and very recognizable. Really, the flame effect is really fantastic there, so really, really great design. And that takes us into the Isle of Berk, and lots of action all around here, and just lots of great kind of pops of color to offset all that gray.
Yeah, I love the kind of uptick of How to Train Your Dragon builds that we've seen since the live-action movie came out, but they've got the dragon training pit. I love all the googly eye sheep over here on the left as well, and with this kind of gap in the rock work there, it appears that those dragons of Plop will fly and move around during the public hours.
And we'll hop across the aisle and check these builds out over here. So I think this whole side is done by the same builder. This is Fanatic Studios on YouTube, and he's got his Shrek Swamp build with Elizabeth from Shrek, then the Breaking Bad RV, and the back rooms. Looks like the Incredibles here he's got going on, and this next one is Plants vs. Zombies.
Lots of pop culture references. It's the big homage to the final mission or final level in the game of Plants vs. Zombies with the massive mech there. I love the usage of like the apples for the pea shooters and all the different plants he's able to capture there into a large Subway Surfers build. So he's got all the trains in there with the character playing as kind of jumping up over the trains in the middle there. Very, very cool build to see. The Aliens Bug Life.
Using those brick separators, and then Deep Space Explorer. So I love this. There's just kind of like ships attached on the outside, and then this big Technic frame, that tunnel in the middle there I think is really great. Sundrop Flower and Dumbledore's office. This is really, really fantastic here. So Spectre and Luma. So you've got all these like all kind of various trans clear elements in different colors being used for these creatures.
Yeah, into some more Wild West we have here. We've got another big mining scene up on the hill, kind of the more village and the gold pilfering down towards the bottom there. And then a very large, looks like to be a machine gun mounted on the back of the coach there. Not going to go so hot for anybody with just rifles, but very, very story-packed here. Yes. And we kind of get to the village on the left here with the sheriff's office and the gold dust corral back there.
And then you get a kind of naval component of the Western City, which you don't see a lot of the time, but you've got nice steamboat age boats throughout here, moving cargo and people, and it looks like they're heading into some of the swamps, some of the less explored areas back here, so we'll see how that goes for them. I see some pirates off in the corner there, and with the nice castle here. That takes us over to Spooky Bricks. So this is one large layout with tons of spooky stuff in it. We've got the Headless Horseman's Haunted Bricktacular, tons of great pumpkins in here. And this looks like something that's very like New Orleans inspired. Yes, it's the Vampire Lair.
Yeah, crazy. I love the greebling in the wall. You've got all the different colors there to kind of make up that brick style. All the lighting on the inside, very, very nice. Into some much larger characters here. You've got Frankenstein and the Mistress of the Dark here. Very nice parsuches in these characters, looking like wire and rubber elements down towards the feet at the bottom, with even the shattered glass under his foot there.
Then a work in progress Tarman zombie from Return of the Living Dead, and Sigfig games, with lots of different types of games that the minifigures are playing. Here's Hadrian's Wall, fighting the Friends, then Tanker Bell, and it's kind of Frenzified, military A-10, the Bomb Beetle, and the SR-71 Blackbird. Then one of my favorite builds here, obviously a huge scale. This is the NS Savannah, so it was the first nuclear-powered merchant vessel in the United States. Just a really unique piece of kind of naval history here, and this is done by Quinn Roberts, who goes by Big Brick Ships. He's done really fantastic stuff over the years.
Yeah, I mean, every show I see a big ship, it's like him, Jim Butte, or like one other person. So one of the three, but super clean. Love that. As we come around into a very large kind of almost fantasy-esque layout here. Lots of very nice colored leaves there. Love this kind of animal head coming out of the rockwork up top as well. Into a very fastly spinning functional microwave. I'm not sure your food's going to stay on your plate, but you've only got 26 seconds left, so you're all right.
As a professional, you really can't condone that type of cooking.
I mean, Chef Mike is definitely used in most restaurants nowadays, so I think at this point it's just kind of become the actual norm. But we've got a very cool vertical Minecraft display here. You've got lots of different stories and biomes being told through each of the different levels here, and lots of different story happening out front as well.
Next to that is a bunch of Mario, Nintendo Game Boy, and Switch builds. You've got Bowser's Melody up here, this piano. Then it's the Brickworld Memorial Wall. A really fantastic way to tribute past attendees of Brickworld. Then we've got the Freedom 250 display here. Even got some lights to shine on that. Eurobricks logo. So Eurobricks has done a lot of incredible collabs at Brickworld over the years. Here's the Mysteria of the Wisteria. And then Wisteria Grove. These are Fabuland type inspired builds. Victor's Swamp Hideout. Very nice looking cottage in the swamp. And then these Roman statue builds are amazing.
Yeah, I love this huge gladiator build. The kind of phalanx shield build there is very nicely done with that gold dome on the front. And kind of the similar build here and kind of the white statue-esque with also the actual, the person there into a very nice parsuches with this new kind of almost triangular tile piece, creating a very interesting effect there into a cookie monster.
Next to that is it's Chukville. It's all of the different chickens here, just kind of living their life, taking selfies, tending to their gardens in their houses. Then the manor revealed. I know this has some movement to different parts of it, which is really impressive. Then we got kind of different villas. This is almost like the Bard going from village to village here. Yeah, the Bard's journey. That's very cool. Here he is at the feast. And then the Guild Isles over here. So once again, kind of little medieval vignettes spaced throughout. And then over here is the IBO mobile workers, some real firepower in the RX-78, and the police squad next to that. Another one of my favorite layouts of the show is this one. This is needs more mech here, and I just love the way that sword is slicing through the blue mech.
Yeah, definitely the first thing my eye is drawn to with that lighting there. Love the kind of dual cannons on his other hand there shooting down towards the base. And then you've got the space laundromat kind of rotating there in the center. As well as some other smaller muscle moon city there with the bicep curling on the moon, and some other smaller space next to the clown rebellion down here at the base. Kind of a similar use of the almost the Yavin 4-esque style build, kind of playing into the clown reference there. Very nice into some almost Fortnite inspired tank build up to the left there.
There's some of everything in this section here. Very, very unique builds. And then more Blacktron here with the vehicles. And this spaceship here, I think that it's actually a game build. I saw the builder, I think, playing the game on the other side here, so you could sit and watch it on the screen while looking at the build. And we've got the micro military, and we've got space castle in the middle. So it's a combo of castle to the left and spaceship to the right here. So kind of meta references with the mock cards in here. And then we've got Wolf in the Woods Redux. So see a wolf pack man kind of heading here to the forest to this cottage.
Yeah, I love the shaping on the building there into the Griffin Cog. A very nice built ship here. I love all the kind of rope running in there. You've got the Cyclops here. Very nice foliage and character build there into a large trebuchet as well.
Yeah. And that takes us to a medieval kind of manor castle village. So this is the Lioness Manor grounds. So very peaceful feeling. I don't see, you do have some of the Black Falcons coming to visit the Lion Knights. So hopefully that's all a peaceful visit. And just some convention badges. And we've got a large cat mosaic. And that takes us back over this direction. So we'll head to some of these smaller kind of cubes here. So this one is just one large three-sided triangular display, and it's different types of windows and kind of artwork here. Here's looking through the window on Christmas Eve, Celtic bat, and then this one is just almost like a large rug design.
Yeah, the woven crown of thistles, I believe is what this one is called. So a very nice kind of floral detailed design Lots of the time to put all these cheese slopes facing all the different directions and one by one tiles. A lot of effort went into this build. I mean, it's, what would you say, probably 8 feet tall at least?
Yes. It's they've even 3D printed the round bricks at the bottom there, I just noticed. And then finally here is just some smaller pieces kind of making up some of the same artistic type ideas. Jumping across here, it's Technic vehicle time and modular buildings, and then just kind of mechanical build right here. Jumping across to the other side, it's builds by Moto. So this is one of his iconic Sir Meowsalot II. So he builds these kind of wearable pieces that are really impressive. And then Jenga here with the iconic toppling over design.
Love that. Classic Lego Jenga, you always pull out the wrong piece into the last stand. So you've got some kind of alien force attacking the fortress there into a large solitude build. So you've got this great kind of landscaping, floating landscape style rockwork here with this massive curved rainbow up above it in the clouds. Very, very nice kind of forced perspective build. Absolutely love that. Into a trans-clear Darth Maul, or a hologram Darth Maul.
And some cars, Lightning McQueen pod racer inspired builds. Then Mummy Book of the Dead. Dune here, built in a really unique way. I like the Book Nook style. Here's K-pop Demon Hunters with some nice movement. And then Octavius the Octopus, mixing up his brew there. Very fun design with a Tangled poster and a pop-up book next to that. And then little tiny Kanto starters, little Pokemon builds there with the red-eyed tree frog and the birds around it.
Yeah, I love this kind of pot hanger here on the corner with the birds for the winter hanging basket. So you've got all the kind of winter holly foliage in there with the nice little birds. As we come across into a walk by the river from the Bridgerton series, I believe. So you've got lots of kind of more colonial era figures with the very large dresses there. A recreation of a photograph here from the Misty Copeland mosaic.
And Ahsoka versus the Clones, Order 66. This is Mo Willems' pigeon and then a sword. This looks like a Five Nights at Freddy's builds, characters. Witchlight Woods. Really, really nice Minecraft build. This is Caleb Schilling, really iconic Minecraft builder, kind of what he's become known for here, Cheesy Studios. So love to see the Minecraft representation from him. Another smaller Minecraft build, and then Mission Mines here. So it's like a pinball machine, mines themed. Little crown. Lego Master Season 3, Episode 1, and Follow the Yellow Brick Road. And that takes us this direction here, so we'll kind of finish out this row of tables and keep making our way over. Do you think we can do it before they shut off the lights?
Let's see, it's almost 8 o'clock. I think we can go for a speed run here.
Yeah,
Got it,
I think we can do it. Here's Pink Lady art. I love these little tiny gardens here inside the glasswork. Back in my day with like the black and white piece. It's Tax Collector's Folly and presenting the heiress, the baby, a little White House vignette. Here is Shiz University from Wicked. I love this. Wicked obviously just is fantastic, and so love to see such a large-scale recreation of this scene next to an insane number of Lego tulips.
An insane number. So Nova Lug had this and Shiz University in Fredericksburg for, I believe, their kind of big, like, Wizard of Oz, Wicked-inspired collaboration. So great build there next to the Moonlight and Elemental Grove. As we round the corner into a very cool building here, you've got the Brick Casino. So definitely minifigs losing lots of money in there. You can see all the game tables down on the bottom floor there.
Moving elevator inside there too. And Cinderella Castle, day and night. Next to Batman, the ride from Six Flags. And Gilbert, the Lego puppet. Over here is some really, really nice artistic kind of seasonal builds here, different poses and different seasons represented through the costumes and what they're wearing. Then Koi Pond. I love this idea of kind of being underwater with the fish.
Yeah, love it. Love the parts usage in those, using all those tiles for the scales. Next to the Follow Your Heart build. Nice little Indiana Jones tank display there, and the abandoned Chicago department in Fun City. You've got One Way Out from Andor next to the bounty hunter scene from Star Wars, as well as the 10-295 facility.
And Plumeria here, the mosaic style build. Then the city Lost to the Sea, a lot of underwater coral builds. I think as Lego's released more of those types of pieces, just see those all over the place now. The Nutcracker and the Mystic Mountain, and then Rainbow Cat and D&D eyeball staff here, really large scale. That's a fun build. Minecraft and Day in the Life of minifigures. And then finishing with some of these, the Strand Beast mechanical builds here. And it's the Baxter Building, Fantastic Four, the Tortoise and the Hare and their race, Cody's Last Stand, and then this really large build of Bridge Over Pond of Water Lilies. So obviously taking the Lego set and really adding to it.
Yeah, very much so. Very large scale, kind of blowing it up to a massive mosaic scale. And as we come across here, we're going to move into some more very large Bionicle and character style builds here, starting on the corner with some really cool kind of color scheme character style builds. Love the kind of very drastic use of lighting around them as well to really make them pop.
Yeah. And it looks like there's a crowd gathered. So there's like a live streaming kind of podcasting setup here. So we'll just show you what we can from out here. And we've got Tow Mater with the cars set up here and the semi-truck, and then a bunch more Bionicles that kind of run down to the end of the table there. So really impressive to see just the way that Bionicle elements are kind of constantly reimagined and reused.
Yeah, and the use of so many other cool parts too, whether it be system or cloth pieces from different themes, that they're able to turn into so many different cool things.
Over here is a Lego tower. So this is a whole bunch of different kind of themes to each floor of the tower, and there's several different towers represented here. So I think this is based off of the Lego tower, maybe it was a mobile game, I think?
I believe so, and I think they all have working elevators, so you can see that running there. That each floor is themed to something different across all four of the different towers here.
Yeah. Jumping across the aisle, a really incredible build here with the smog layout. There's over 150,000 gold pieces in this build.
That checks out. That sounds about how many 1x1 plates in Dark Tan I have too. But no, I saw the little sneak peek of this online before coming to the show. Definitely one of the builds I was looking forward to seeing. The smog is absolutely incredible, and just the sheer size of this display really blows you away.
And we'll move down this direction from there, and you've got this kind of, let's see, it looks like Lord of the Rings inspired kind of headdress. You've got the gems of Lasgalon and Durin's Air, the Key of Erebor, Icy Fire, the destruction of Dale. So lots of great Hobbit and Lord of the Rings inspired characters from Nana and Earth in Exile, Wizard Sanctuary in the Sky next to more gold.
More gold. The Emperor's Vault here, so hiding away all of his wares. Then we come into the Brickbound Dungeon, a Lego roguelike board game. So again, a very drastic increase in kind of these interactive displays as we come over into the Outer Rim Imperial Outpost. So you've got all the interior rooms in there. I'm sure there's probably lights on these when they're during the public hours. I absolutely love the landscaping here of the occupation of Batu from the concept art. So they've got the book out front representing what they were going off of from some Star Wars concept there. But great build there.
And we've got a baryonyx attack from Jurassic World 2, that lava dripping down. Then some small vignettes, and the hot dog bun seed part challenge. This is called Chicago Rage Bait with the ketchup on the hot dog. That's a big no-no in this part of the country. Upscaled tumbler using 3D printed upscaled parts, and WSQK, I think a Stranger Things build here.
That would be my guess. Yep. But I love I guess they've used kind of these 3D printed elements for the letters out on the front there. But a really cool, nice architectural display next to, I guess, the broadcasting tower as well. As we come into some more of kind of these Bionicle mecha style builds. Shout out to the chrome drill there. And some of these really nice, colorful parts. I love the ringmaster here, kind of the jester-looking vibe.
This big hammer, that's super cool. Then we've got blooms. So this is different kind of human characters working these machines with all these kind of floral designs and then lights inside there. So really, really unique. And then obviously all in that grayscale color palette is really cool. In the outer rim town from Star Wars, Republic gunship. We've got an Italian town with the beach side and then the buildings built into the sides of the mountains and the hills. Really, really nice. Disney. This is Splash Mountain. Yes, really great build.
I've been on that ride many a time, gotten stuck on that ride many a time, but definitely a classic of the park, down into Main Street, USA. So the main street from Disney there, you've got Cinderella's castle in the background, and to Vader mowing his lawn while the Stormtrooper is doing absolutely nothing.
A disturbing lack of help is the name of this build. I love that. Epcot, the World of Tomorrow, with the Epcot ball on the outside half, and then inside you can see a lot of the Epcot train and then the rooms inside there. So love that. Here's Airstream Travel Trailer and just a super sleek, fun design. And then Avatar, the World of Pandora. So haven't seen a lot of Avatar-based mocks, but here's a nice one with kind of a nice shadow box design there. Belleville Castle, some of these creatures, we see some of the Belleville babies make appearances throughout builds. So this is kind of the Belleville doll idea. Really tall castle tower, and then kind of a, let's see, a crab type creature of some kind, briefly known, forever loved. And then this is from Such Great Lows here. And over here is Pink Castle.
A very pink castle. Pink Castle, Pink City Bus, and Pink Modern House. You've got three very different eras of time happening here with lots of really nice Friends elements to really bring out the color in this build. Into some smaller kind of micro-scale buildings here with the cozy gamer, steampunk moon car, and then a very large collection of hot air balloons.
Yes, very, very colorful hot air balloons. Next to Ain't That Dandy with the dandelions and the ladybugs here in Gotham City, and then a glitch in the Matrix. Some more Galador themed stuff in there. So we will then go ahead and just jump across over here. We'll show as much of this area as we can. So down here, down below, I think this is Star Wars. So there's kind of interior to those buildings, and then it just kind of set up on this little wooden table.
Yeah, it definitely has a Star Wars aesthetic to it. Got lots of cool characters there. And then some medieval stuff here, and then another Star Wars build. Different eras represented here into some more medieval, and then to this very large castle medieval display here with some fantastic rock work and elevation up in the corner there.
Yeah, I love the level of detailing on the kind of natural scenery that's in that creation. And then this is, I believe, it's just like there's just kind of a town with lots of outdoor activities happening.
There's a lot of things happening here. You've got the hamster ball run train here in the corner, some skydiving and parachuting endeavors here with the water tower as well. Look up to the sky is no limit. Lots of things happening in this display.
We'll show this corner over here before we move on to the rest of the convention hall. So this is by Hoff Builder, and this is kind of keeping track of the World Cup matches as they continue. It looks like World Cup is playing there right now. And then some reskinned Millennium Falcons. We've got Titan's Tower, the Brick Hour, a bunch of Brickheads, Disney characters, and Harry Potter logos over here. And then come back around to the other side of this display real quick before we move on down the edge and keep showing you more. So really fantastic stuff here. I think we can get all this done before they shut the lights off on us. We always try to show as much as possible, as we always say. So this is Brick Safari. I love the way that the lights there on the water.
Yeah, and I love this kind of curved road they've even got down here. A lot of great brick bending. And I guess the track or the truck actually runs through this whole thing during the public hours with the movement. Would certainly be very cool to see. Into some more character builds, you've got Bluey, you've got the crocodile ballerina there. Into Brimholt, a nice kind of two different keep castle build here with some great foliage out in the middle. And then a very large head-inspired castle build up on the front edge there.
And that finishes this section out. So we will then jump back across to this display here we'll go ahead and start with this castle. So this is the Wislug display. This is their collaborative castle layout. So it runs for quite a bit of this table. You start with the big castle keep area, move across the bridge into the church and some of the village, and then you move outside of the castle wall, and you've got just kind of more forest areas, and move to the dock and across the water, and you've got Wolfpack so a lot of Wolfpack representation.
I love the inclusion of the Star Wars Wolfpack logo and some of the mix of figures up towards the top there. Nice chrome knight up there as well, into some more K-pop Demon Fighter inspired builds here. We've got Dungeon in a Cup, so a dungeon D&D inspired build that fits in an old Pick-a-Brick cup. Spending too much money on Lego.
Pain an arm and a leg is very funny there. I like it. I think a lot of Lego fans can definitely relate to that one. Yes, for sure. It's a very expensive hobby. Here you get dinosaur excavation in a vineyard. And then, have you seen this chicken? $1,000 reward. This is Feathers McGraw. Second Mouse gets the cheese here. The Adventures. And Mr. Green in the library with the candlestick. Clue. And then Eagle Bluff Lighthouse, some freight trains, and more Bionicle-inspired builds. And then this huge General Electric Boeing 777 engine.
Yeah, love the kind of like mechanical parts that we're seeing in the shows now. So the big turbine there next to the garden. Lots of different things happening in the garden. You've got dinosaurs, foliage, gold bananas, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Here's the donut shop and Micropolis train. Oh, these trains are actually running. That's really cool to see those. It's such a small scale running around that display there. That's very fun. And then got the car storage garage showroom with the rotating platforms. You can appreciate it from every angle. Over here is a bunch of modular mechanical type builds. So these are all builds that kind of open up, and you can really appreciate the interiors in a lot of different ways. The lighting's great. There are panels that open up. I love when builders do that type of thing.
Yeah, showing off the interior of buildings for the public, really to get the idea of just the amount of effort that you put into it. Into Ace Brickham's new detective's office and Khazad-dûm, so another big Lord of the Rings scene with the Fellowship surrounded by orcs there, into a massive tower. So you've got the flat pack tower in blue. So all the different rooms here have different fun things going on. You've got medieval, dragons, Star Wars. You've got lots of fun mythical creatures as well. Very, very cool, interesting display there.
And it's all very blue. So there you go. It fits very nicely with the mock card. Here's a bunch more brickheads, gummy bears, Ultron, and all sorts of different themes represented here. Then Fabuland in the background there. It's kind of crazy how Fabuland is represented with so many builds at a show that people are still building with that so much. Snack time, say hello to Jello with these different creatures here. And then we've got the kind of rabbit cage back there. And then let's see. It's Ode to Dead. It looks like some milk maybe. And Darth Gingy with gingerbread and some mechs. And then this really nice Fiserv Forum. It looks like maybe a stadium of some kind.
Love the curvature there into a very large ARNT, Aerial Recon Navy nav transport vessel. So almost like space / steampunk inspired vessel there, meant to be flying in the clouds there next to a snowflake and a big fig. Some cool mosaics for different states in the United States there.
And a huge World War II destroyer. This is Gearing class destroyer. This build's 10 feet long. We talked to this builder earlier. Really, really impressive to see this. The 5-inch guns even move and everything. So really, really great build there. Here's the Spider-Verse. So you've got some actual screens in there, and then Spider-Man swinging around. And it looks like Minecraft here, and you can follow the paths in different directions.
Yeah, I love this. It's displayable from a 360. You've got caves and everything that runs through it. All kinds of interiors and lights playing in here with the overworld up above, with all the different players running out throughout. Very nicely done.
And then Ares Island, and this is a birdhouse in your soul. So it's like a little bird nightlight, I think. Oh, okay. There you go. And then this is the K-pop Derpy Cat, using a lot of those trans blue elements. Finally, Bionicles, the Greek Lego philosopher. Now we'll finish out with that section and take you across to the edge here, and we'll kind of bounce back and forth. So these are, looks like we've got some of the older Lord of the Rings sets signed by possibly set designers here. And we've got volleyball and water polo, battleship, basketball, and another Catan.
Love the Catan build, some Olympic sports there. You got shout out to Beyond the Brick back there as well.
Yes.
Into a very large Winter Olympics style build here. You've got a lot of the different sports represented and all the different flags of the countries kind of built into the backdrop there. Very, very cool display.
And this is our home rebuilt in Lego. So once again, kind of a really unique piece depicting a family home. And then another medieval times. I mean, the medieval times is just down the road in Schaumburg, so you got to use it as inspiration. And next to that is the interrogation, and then looks like Young Frankenstein's castle. There we go. And sorry, we sunk your AT-AT.
Love that from the opening scenes of the Force Awakens there. To the Blarney Castle, famed medieval Irish tower. So some historical layout there, as well as the medieval libraries. We've got the Lion Knights troops marching out in front of a big, very medieval grayscale building there. I love the architecture. The Road to Adventurer's Keep, so another D&D medieval-inspired build.
And then we'll jump across here to this side and come back and pick back up on after we're done with this cube. So this here is a classic space monorail, and it takes up the whole section. So, it's iconic. People love it.
They sure do. They've got the base for it, the backdrop as well, with kind of the stars of the big city up top, and all of the homage to all the classic space and fully operational stuff there with all the monorails and spaceships there.
Here is Zelda Ocarina of Time Dungeons and Press Your Luck logo. Then a little kind of right flyer with a bunch of more modern planes, minifig habitats, and some landing platform, hospital helipad, wilderness lakefront lodge. I love that with the way they did the water. And then I saw people playing this earlier, so this is an actual playable duck race where you hit the buttons and you can race each other in the duck race, which is very, very fun. And then a classic space ship.
While flashbanging you on the corner
Yes.
there. Love
Really
the
intense.
going into the Mtron canal station there. I'm not sure if they're going to get through or not, but you got the Enchanted Forest here, nice creature skeleton, and the Zelda tree there next to the pink cloud castle.
Yeah. Jumping back over here to this spaceship design. So this is the Aggressor spaceship, and you can see it looks very aggressive. It looks pretty scary here, especially with the spacecraft surrounding it. There are a lot of guns on that. I would not want to go up against that thing. Then an assault tank next to that. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Here is the CB guitar collection. So I think Citizen Brick maybe guitars. And Mini Bigs, Michael Myers. That's just like a crazy number of Michael Myers.
Yeah, in every possible color, I'm assuming. You get the tall head version. You've even got the TV tower here with a very cool interior and kind of this classic Lego castle look on the outside as well. In this kind of big scale. You've got the smaller version of it there as well. Next to a lot of different flags represented here. So you've got flags of all kinds of different cultures and belief systems. And a cool city scene here in the end.
Yes. And finishing out across from the city scene, we've got more beach leading into more city. So it's Ocean Dream, Octan Tower, Admiral Boom House, very Mary Poppins-esque, Springfield Elementary, a lot of Simpsons-inspired builds here. We'll jump across to this cube now. So it's Studio Ghibli time. So it's the world of Studio Ghibli. This is the house on the cliff by the sea. Got the Guardian of Laputa over here, and Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah, some great architecture. I have no idea what Studio Ghibli is, but love the curvature they were able to capture on the road there as well. Into the corner we have a kind of ballerina dancing box there, a nice creator set in the background for the medieval dragon, and then we get into a very large collection of military aircraft and vehicles. So we've got a lot of these very nice smaller scale planes, different fighter planes, and then we kind of lead into some of the bigger planes. We've got the B-17 and the C-47 before we get to some ground vehicles.
Yeah. And then tons and tons of ground vehicles here from Panzer Brick Labs. So their work is always fantastic. Love to see all of that represented at the show. I think it's the first time they've come out to Brickworld, so really great to see them represented. It makes Caden feel a little more at home.
It sure does. Now they're trying to convince me to bring stuff to other shows. So they've even got some dioramas out here as well. So you've got the Battle of Cambrai and some other smaller ones that using their figures, prints, and vehicles there. I love the rounded one here, kind of an homage to their bigger tank factory, as well as this kind of 2D background streetscape there with the British Sherman version there.
Back over to Scream here, next to those Simpsons builds with a Castle Ursa, and then Scream, and it looks like maybe all the different Scream scenes built here, vignette stacked style, and Well House from the film It, and then a bunch of different horror, mostly horror stories in here, and then Step Brothers.
I think the Step Brothers is probably my favorite scene, the one building the bunk beds. You've got even Singing in the Rain down lower too. I love seeing people recreate the movie scenes in Lego. It's always a fun time. You've got Breaking Bad kitchen there, so doing all their fun stuff next to some Sopranos scenes and some other movie and series scenes here as well. Next to blockbuster builds, they've got the OG TV screen with some popcorn there.
Yeah, so kind of the whole film section all set up here with What About Bob? We'll run over here and catch these builds now. So this is Ambush on the Separatist Mining Laser, and then you've got a gunship there, 6 bricks, corporate offices, F1 wall display. I love that. The Mercedes display is really, really cool. Treasure Ambush. We've got some recolored X-Wings and TIE Fighters. And then even more pod racers using these classic space inspiration for a lot of these recolorings. Here's Fortnite Anvil Square, and then the Rock Fortress, and Glacier Rock, and then it looks like little kind of smaller vignettes, Spirit of the Season series, Passport Holder, and kind of military from over the years there. This is the ICT lug, Wichita, Kansas, where they've had a lot of these missile bases.
Yeah, love that. They've got the kind of the smoke popping up here, the old style Huey, as well as the USAF Strategic Air Command kind of crest there, built as a more 3D kind of greebled mosaic into their missile silos and some other fun scenes depicted as they've got their references here.
Back over here, next to Blockbuster Builds, it's the tree design here in a park, and then Exo Toa minifigure scale. We got some great kind of graffiti in there. Here's the Durr Burger restaurant from Fortnite, iconic, and then the Starship Enterprise. Several different models of the Enterprise, the Star Trek logo there. And here's the Klingon battle cruiser and UNSC Infinity. The iconic Michigan football stadium, the big house here, and finally Robot Factory, pumping out these tiny little robots.
Yeah, love the movement here. You've got the screens inside with all of that moving as well, and all the different little characters popping up on the assembly line there. It's very nicely done.
We'll jump back across and start heading this direction. Here's the Chimera Star Wars ship, and more Star Wars inspired spaceships and vehicles. Then really nice kind of clean little cityscapes and little vignette designs. There's some makeup kits and even the little key and stuff and the ring and everything in here, and the purses are really nice. These are, this is like a masterpiece gallery, I think from Lego House maybe, is what that's depicting.
Interesting. Definitely showing off some of the builds on display there. As we've got the David and Goliath and Jonah and the Big Fish, so some Bible stories represented in Lego there, next to Bob and Larry from Legend Tales.
So this starts the series of Ian Summers builds. So Ian is iconic builder we featured many times on Beyond the Brick, and his work has been very, very popular. So a lot of this stuff we've seen at shows, but he kind of adds different stuff each time he comes out to a show with new builds. Got some Toy Story stuff in here that I think is some of his newer things. So Ian and Sage, obviously iconic Lego Masters contestants and really, really great builders. And then here we have Spider-Man layout with a bunch of custom Spider-Man. I especially like the pirate ones. I think are very fun.
Love the dinosaur one as well.
Okay.
Got lots of different characters there and the nice cityscape.
Great work. Thank you. Here we've got the Quad God mosaic here. So fantastic work there. Ocarina of Time, Phantom Ganon battle, and then the Forest Temple over here So love to see the Zelda builds represented.
Yeah, and then we've got the back rooms, level 0, so some kind of game happening there next to a nice one-piece build, something that's certainly gained some popularity in LEGO since the license has taken over as we come into some micro stuff here.
Not a lot of one-piece mocks yet, though. We'll see if that becomes more popular. But yeah, all of this micro architecture showing how different iconic architectural elements from around the world have been built over the years. Then we've got the University of Minnesota East Bank campus in micro scale, and a micro city next to that, and kind of a way to contribute with your own buildings. And then this large kind of domed city over here. So we will head this direction then. So I think we've got to hit up this. I think is the giant Buc-ee's is next here. So we've not shown you this crazy huge Buc-ee's display. So here you can see the looks like this is the car wash section. There's actual movement going on in here, and then as you move through the car wash, you get to just all the endless things that you can buy at a Buc-ee's.
Have you been to a Buc-ee's, Joshua?
Too many times.
I have not.
Oh,
so
wow.
the next
Wow.
time I'm in Atlanta for BrickCon, I guess I'm going to have to make the trip. I've heard all of the stories of Buc-ee's just by looking at this, and I feel like now I have to go. So next time
Caden,
we're out there.
You sad, uncultured child. How have you never been to a Buc-ee's?
Well, I've only been that far south once, so I think I got to pass on that. But next time, for sure, I'll find a way.
Yes, you absolutely have to. But it really does feel like this in a lot of ways. There's just kind of endless choices. Sometimes if you go when it's really busy, it's actually a very overwhelming experience, and it kind of becomes unpleasant after a while. But, it's definitely worth checking out. You can always go and just get some gas as well. That's also always an option. Then we'll come over here, and this is Eurobricks collab. So I mentioned that Eurobricks has done a lot of iconic collaborations over the years. So these are inspired by different planets, and it's kind of different medieval castle scenes.
Yeah, so I guess they have like all the planets of the solar system represented in kind of these very awesome, different, very different stylistically as well, kind of castle builds. So you've got some of the kind of Roman Greco style things here for Venus. Obviously the ones that are kind of more named after the Roman gods are going to have kind of that more homage there, but I absolutely love this more sand colored one for Jupiter. The color scheme here and kind of just the cleanliness of the ground around it, the kind of tan clouds is very, very nice.
Yes, and you can see some work still being done to make sure these stay running here. They've all been spinning around and everything, so a lot of moving parts and lights in these builds. There's Mercury and then Earth, and then inside there you start to see a lot more of elements of the build. So it's really fun to walk around and just kind of check all of these builds out, ending with Saturn over here with the ring that you see the creatures flying around there. And speaking of animals and creatures, we're sticking with that theme, and we've got a giant zoo all nice and low so you can appreciate it from a bird's eye view.
Yeah, every enclosure, probably every Lego animal that has ever been made is in this zoo. So even some of the older, I can spot them on the old gray elephants over on the other side that we'll come around to. But you've got the enclosures for all of your birds here. Your big entryway here with your ticket gates and everything. I love the use of the Nexonite shields and that sand green color for that roofing there.
And then I think to finish out this section, we've got the Target Center. So it's the Timberwolves NBA Stadium, and this massive roller coaster built by Luke Horwath. Just really, really impressive. I haven't actually had a chance to see this running yet during the show, but I think it's been off and on, but it definitely looks impressive.
Yeah, I haven't seen it running yet, but I don't know. Which one do you think is taller, this or the space satellite thing on the other side of the hall?
Oh, man, that's tough. I'm going to go with the coaster.
Yeah? From here, I almost think it's the space thing.
Okay.
It might be pretty close.
We'll
You can see it
see
all
if
the
we
way
can
over
find
there.
out. But we need to, then I think to finish out the tour, we just got to go through the final line of displays over here. So we can go ahead and make our way that direction, go back past the Halo display, and we can actually go back and why don't we go ahead and start. So you want to start up here, and then we'll go this direction. So we'll head back towards the front for all of you as we make our way back to the front. So this will kind of do one last trip through the convention hall to then complete our tour. So really, really fantastic builds this year. Like we mentioned earlier, record attendance, several hundred more builders and attendees than there were last year, and so that just means way more stuff that's on display. So I think we hit all of that, so I think we'll start right here then. So this is Mark's large Capitol dome, and then of course you've got the giant eagles added around it, very appropriate with all of the America 250 celebrations. It looks like he's added the National Cathedral pipe organ next to that.
Yeah, some super awesome kind of American homage builds here. This very massive scale, and certainly one of the first things that the public is seeing when they come in here. Really paying a great tribute to the country. And then behind that, we've got the massive Statue of Liberty with all the super awesome fireworks on display behind it. I've got the parades happening out in front here as well, with soldiers and marching bands, and some classic fire trucks as well.
And we'll come around to this side where you've got, looks like Independence-inspired Americana train designs. And got train cars up top and down below here. Lots of train engines, caboose designs. Really fun to see all of those. In a very different direction from trains, this is a very kind of artistic, autumn-inspired builds. This build is called Thank You for Agreeing to the Terms and Conditions, as it's painting on the wall. Clock tower here, cathedral, and then just some kind of like black and white type builds. Circle around here to Jigglypuff, and Enchanted Forest, Floating Islands. Some more creatures here, and then that finishes out this section with the lighting kits. And we'll head over here and start with this fortress.
Yeah, so we've got Fort Pierce here, so a very nice kind of, almost reminded me of Fort Ticonderoga the first time I walked up to it, but you've got all the cannons here around the parapets and all the soldiers in there. Really great build there. As we come across into the attack on Fort James, so you've got another kind of fortress being attacked by an infantry force there. You've got the royal carriage behind that next to the Lion Knights riverboat.
And over here is Borg Tower. Looks like we've got Spider-Man, you've got Ninjago. Looks like mostly Ninjago themed happening there. And there's some more ninja stuff. And it looks like as we go all the way down, it's all ninjas, all Ninjago inspired, kind of like 32 by 32 base plate designs. You get into a lot of the mech designs down here, more mosaic type stuff. This tree design where you can actually, looks like treehouse type idea.
Yeah, super cool idea. Love the foliage up top there. Some more brickheads, some smaller kind of story scenes here. A nice little gunboat with some old gray mixed into that. As we come around the corner into a very cyberpunky Fallout style build here with a nice train running through there. Loved all the barbed wiring and lighting that's going through this build here.
It looks like definitely something that probably use a lot of like citizen brick type elements. They've made a lot of iconic build elements for these types of builds.
For sure. Gritty City is the title of that build. As we come around the corner and we get into some, looks like Spider Island from Marvel Rivals, the video game. So you've got lots of characters in there and all their special abilities. Destination Pizza, so all the Toy Story aliens getting their fix there.
Yeah, and then here we have more Ninjago little vignettes and scenes from Ninjago over the years. And then we've got the 15 years of Ninjago sign. There's fire versus ice Ninjago battle. And then Avatar Pandora. So you've got the water here. We're underwater and then above water, so you really can take in the full scene. Over the garden wall, lurking in the unknown. It's the Last of Us and the Fell Beast then. And finishing out with Lego City here. Some nice modular buildings and then some more like military and ship stuff here. And we'll make our way down past some of the vendors. So the public was really packed in here today. There were a lot of people checking out Brickworld. Here you've got the Bricker Builds booth. I think they just announced their Scrappy, as they call it, there at this show. And then Isengard is looking fantastic. I love this.
Yeah, and I like that from the front and the back, they're telling two kind of different points in the movie. So they've got all the details out here for Isengard, and then behind it, they have the Mines of Moria and the story with the Balrog and Gandalf back there. Great rock work and great detail all around there.
Mm-hmm. Lots to take in that scene. Here is Leon versus Hunk, Kingpin's apartment. So it looks like some more superhero stuff. And then a battle. This is, let's see, Operation Magistral from 1987. So You've got the vehicles coming in, kind of attacking the buildings up on the hill.
Yeah, some like almost modern military style stuff, kind of Cold War almost era. You've got some really nice vehicles there. I love the buildings and everything here. As we find some more of your corn, Joshua.
Yes, thank you so much for recognizing my people here in this display. And then you can sort by different minifigs and colors. And you do the Princess Treehouse here. Around to the other side. And this is America 250. You got Statue of Liberty, kind of Big Fig, and Star Wars characters next to that. Here we've got the Builder Improvement Initiative. And it looks like we start with Farewell Coral City, and then Sasha the Sand Surfer here, Lighthouse, and It's a House. This is just called It's a House, so there you go. Oh, this chess set is very nice. Mushroom Mastermind. So we've got the mushrooms versus the mice. Yes, the mice there. That's cool. And then, the fox is also getting on the chess action. You've got Everdell, and it looks like you've got the bird teacher, and then more of the mice here with all these character designs. The doctor, really, really great. This is Helm's Deep, kind of a different take with kind of your classic castle landscape.
Yeah, love this. I love that they got the charge of the Rohirrim down here on the left, and the massive kind of Uruk-hai army and Orc army charging the walls there. The super high keep, the flashing lights, and I believe there's interior stuff behind it as well.
And we'll jump across here. This is the Chicago area Lego users group. So self-portrait mosaic to start us off here. We'll go ahead and move this direction. So we've got Magisto here on this mosaic, and we've got Meduseld, I think also from Lord of the Rings.
Yep, definitely. Or either, yeah, definitely. I think that's like when they find King Theoden and he's out of his mind. So got some cool character style build. Almost looks like Plo Koon back there. Very nice kind of construction build. Very Infinity Train back there with some different stories happening with some nice construction, animals, things up here. Before we get into this amazing Baroque Palace Guardians build here. Absolutely love the architecture and all of the greenery on this build. Very, very well done.
Yes, feels very kind of Versailles, just large European palatial type design, fantastic work. And then here is Rocket Command. And how many pieces are in the cup here? So have you ever tried to pack the maximum amount in a pick-a-brick cup?
I won't lie, at one time there was a spreadsheet that existed and I had it for how to pack the most parts into a pick-a-brick cup, and they switched to boxes and it didn't work anymore.
Journey through You Can Make It Village. So it looks like kind of this track that runs up and down both of these tables here going through the city. Here are some really nice tentacled creatures with some nice, it looks like boats in the background from the boat race that happens here every year. And then we've got more of these kind of like Toa and all sorts of different beasts and creatures. Different kind of mechanical creatures. I love this one with the slingshot is really fun.
Yeah, and kind of the mace on his back with the little serpent next to him, and even kind of this Duplo, almost like Transformers-esque character next to him. I love the Sandy Shade, a man on the beach one up top there with the purple hair and the lime green shorts there. Love that. Some great chrome usage parts down here, and some more kind of really cool classic space colors there, and some nice little characters there as we come into a larger kind of city town wedding happening and concert at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And the train running around it. Around the corner is air traffic control tower, some more balloons, and then Jurassic World here with the Hobbit parade balloon. This is a really, really impressive display here. So the sculpturing and just like layering of the flowers on this technique is incredible. It's called Unfinished Business. Really incredible.
Yeah, they were wearing it around earlier.
Okay.
All the different colors of the new like leaf plate, very nicely kind of almost camouflaged usage there for the scales of the dragon-esque creature there.
Yeah. And that brings us to, we've got some like Harley Quinn and Batman builds, more train track here running around, just a mixture of kind of every type of theme, dinos, old Western, moving into Star Wars here. and the Tantive 4-star hotel. You can't ever leave up there. Looks like a pretty dangerous place. More Star Wars down underneath here. This Joker card I think is really fantastic. Those lights around that are great.
Yeah, it really kind of makes the face of that pop. Love kind of the clean background on it too, with some more space, UFO, weird, some turtle, elephant island, disco world happening up there. The Day of the Dead Santa, and then some cool kind of 2D block characters from Duck Hunt and Downhausen.
Over here is the Sock Monkey. Looks like it's on Lego Ideas. Then upscaled 2x2 bricks above that. Here is animatronic Rickety Mickey, Goofy, Donald Duck, and you've got Alistar and My Hero Academia. And then it looks like a tractor pull happening over here and kind of a big county fair type vibe. The looks like maybe the the honor flight, Operation Honor Guard. There we go. Concert stage and National Cemetery, Wreaths Across America in the background, and then these vignettes up front here. That brings us back to where we started. Yes, so we'll do this section here, and then I think that final section against the wall. So we're wrapping up here soon, which is good because I don't think we have much time left.
We've got 21 minutes.
21 minutes. We can do it. So this is a gold mine. So they are actively kind of pulling out all the gold. There's dynamite everywhere in that build.
Dynamite everywhere. When it's on, there's jackhammers going and excavators moving and everything else. And as we come around, more corn, homage to yours truly. Some wheat into a very nice building here on the corner, into another build that might be in contention for the tallest in the show. We've got this massive tower here all the way down to the floor, so not even sitting on a table like the other two.
Yes, that's true. That might put it over the top. I don't know if there is an official word put out on what the tallest build was. We'll have to see if we can find out. Sky's the limit here with these books. And then this is just kind of, looks like a bunch of remote control vehicles maybe? Little small vehicles and things. Here's kind of a little market. I think that's Harry Potter. Yeah. Thank you, Harry Potter. I thought it was like, it took me a second. One ring here, and then Pittsburgh Penguins logo, Forestman's Crossing, and Swimming Penguin. And then this thing is huge here, very impressive.
Yeah, massive Republic juggernaut or fighter tank here. I mean, the wheels on this thing are the size of the playset ones we get from Lego. So incredible build here by Bowden coming here. Next to the Brick Lab sign, we've got Totoro, nice Friends-ified town here, Friendship Village. So lots of stuff going on there next to some Fabergé eggs. And then this great kind of passage of the Tory build here. So you've got this nice bridge, very floral in front of some very large koi mosaics there.
I love the colors that pop on those koi mosaics. They're really, really impressive. Around the corner is Minnie and Mickey. Looks like all kind of Disney-inspired builds. Ash and Pikachu. Then you've got Mocha Cheeto and Happy Reef. Here's little Warner Brothers. It's the Animaniacs. Very fun there. Pinky and Brain. Got Christmas themed. Choose your team, X-Men here. You can vote for your X-Men team. Use the QR code to vote. Then they've got the whole X-Men mansion, kind of a smaller scale of what we saw on much larger earlier in the tour. Then Marvel Zombies over here. And looks like we've got X-Men comic cover.
Yeah, great. I love that they've even included the price up there, 40 cents. Nothing's 40 cents anymore, but you've got a great redwood tree here, kind of camping display here. Love the foliage uses on this. Next to a great train display here. We've got the Rev W Audrey's Mark III Thomas, so love the train cars there, and the track that goes around. As we come into another kind of beach and resort display here.
Yeah, very, very clean display with that resort and the kind of the very old style classic tile design and color. So it looks like something almost from like Miami Beach or something that you would see. So I like that design a lot there. Shout out to the Beyond the Brick book on the bookshelf here. Everyone needs a Beyond the Brick book on their bookshelf, but I love to see the different references to things here as you look around the shelf.
Yeah, and some of these when this is on during the public hours, like open up and there's stories inside and everything too. Very, very cool display, especially because it goes down to the floor. So for the smaller kids, they get to be included just as much.
And I think if we head back to the back wall here and hit this final section, you think we've done it all then, Caden?
I think we've gotten just about everything we can get to, yeah.
Okay. So, let us know in the comments your favorite build from the tour and what we got wrong, because I'm sure there were a few things that we had no idea what we were talking about. So here's the snot block, the Kleenex holder, Mine Cuber, Delicate Heart, and jumping across from the bathrooms, we have some nice lettering here and numbers, and kind of very, very cool artistic number designs. What is this? It's the wreck of the Phineas Taylor.
So interesting kind of shipwreck apparently here, with a nice skull back there, kind of backlit with some larger fish built in there, with a secondary background with the water into the journey of the Phineas Taylor. So the ship, I guess, is going to face some issues with a crack in there of some kind, to some more kind of 2D display mosaic style builds. Some kind of tiki style mosaic builds and torches here. Very cool build. Love the almost Hawaiian-esque build there on the left with the 3D mosaic. So come into a cool lantern here, tiki lantern, and nice foliage kind of botanical build to, I think, finish us out.
I think you're right, yes. I think as far as I can recall, we've shown everything, and there are builds everywhere. So as we've mentioned, they've really packed the builds in here, so I don't know. I don't think there's any room left to expand. They're just trying to make the aisles a little smaller, trying to pack as much as they can on the tables. But as John pans across there, you can see this hall is absolutely jam-packed with incredible builds. As always, look for more in-depth videos on a lot of these builds on the Beyond the Brick YouTube channel, where you can find a lot more insight from the builders who actually know what they're talking about, and can explain things probably a little better than us. But thank you as always, Caden. Always a pleasure to go through the builds with you. Your builds are fantastic, and can't wait to see more from you in the future as well.
Sure, thanks for bringing me out, and I always enjoy coming out to shows with you guys.
Yes, thanks for watching, everyone. If you've stuck with us these 4 hours or whatever it's been, something now, thank you so much, and feel free to leave a comment with your favorite build. Thanks for watching.